He's got the man deep, and that pass is picked off. This is the Alaris Center on a Thursday in March, all dressed up and ready for a big-time Missouri Valley Football Conference clash between two ranked teams with 118 years of shared history between them. Big battle today between North Dakota and South Dakota. Let's look at the keys to the game brought to you by the University of North Dakota. Ryan Kosowski, what stands out to you?
I think for South Dakota, it's Carson Kemp. If you can keep him up, he can scramble, he can get out of the pocket, he can make plays. It's
the day, starting with the football first. Travis Tice, the running back, able to take it out to the 20-yard line. And that is where true freshman Carson Camp will take over, the young man from Bloomington, Illinois. He made his collegiate debut last week and looked awfully good in engineering a 27-20 victory over then number 7 Illinois State. He did so basically in his hometown. He grew up not very far away from where that football game was played. Not a bad way to kick off this for his collegiate start.
About 2 miles from where he played high school football, and yet coming off party right there. Great game. A lot of, again, moving out of the pocket, keeping plays alive. A lot of sidearms to it. Just really impressive quarterback. Being able to watch that game, he definitely doesn't play like a freshman.
3 total touchdowns in week 1. 10 shots he's on this. You take a look at the Moxie starting lineups. All 5 starters back up front for South Dakota. Mason Scheidegger, by the way, the left guard, who was an all-conference honorable mention pick a season ago, missed week 1 against the Redbirds. He's back in there this week. And they have a lot of skill guys, by the way, the left guard was different Yotes honorable mentions a week ago. Number 2, Kai Henry, a pretty good one in the backfield, first team all-conference in the preseason this year for the senior, who has played and had success against this North Dakota team before.
And I think the up-tempo offense, too, is something that defenses really need to respect and they need to really practice for. And on a short week like this, that's something that's really, really difficult to rep and practice, is that up-tempo, get to the line, look to the sidelines, and the defense has to check out of what they're in, because that's exactly what the offensive play is going to be called in.
That's Wesley Elidor, the 6-foot sophomore from Fort
Smash that like button, people. Smash that like button.
14. Henry, the intended target, this time out of the backfield, unable to corral the pass from Camp. It's a 3-4 North Dakota defense, just like South Dakota runs. They have had success early under first-year defensive coordinator Brett Halenka. However, they have not, as you mentioned, had success early in games. They were gashed in each of the first 2 weeks on the first drive, but really stiffened after that. 2nd and 10 now for Camp. Elidor once again met immediately at the point of the catch. Nice job by the senior cornerback, Evan Holm, making the stop.
And I think you can see the mindset of South Dakota right now is they know North Dakota's going to bring pressure. They're trying to get the ball out quick, get the ball out of Camp's hand, get to the playmakers, pick up yards that way, knowing that North Dakota's going to bring pressure.
The gain of 5 by Elidor, sets up 3rd and 5. Fighting Ox rush 4. Camp steps up and slings one. A little over the head of his intended target. Elidor once again along the boundary open, but the freshman cannot hit him. For the first time this season, North Dakota's defense opens a football game.
Good start right there. I know that's something Coach Halenka really wanted to stress this week, is starting better and getting off the field and getting the offense the chance here. And it's a good start for North Dakota. Gave up a couple first downs, but that's okay. You're able to get off the field here on 4th down, and that's exactly how North Dakota wanted to start this game.
Special teams was huge for UND a week ago. South Dakota's got perhaps the best set of specialists, not just in the conference, maybe in the country. All-American Brady Shutt on to send one deep to Mikey Greibel, who will take this catch at the 6-yard line. No fair catch called for, and Greibel's going to be buried right there. Good pursuits by this Coyote squad. Pretty typical for Shutt, the senior, averaging nearly 45 yards of punts on the campaign. First team All-Valley a season ago. He is a true weapon for this Coyote squad. Here's our first look at redshirt freshman quarterback Tommy Schuster. The Michigan man now 2-0 in his time as the starter for North Dakota. won the job this past offseason. You said it last week, the numbers don't necessarily blow you away in terms of yardage. He's a little guy at 6 foot, 195. However, decision-making is outstanding. He's efficient with the football, and he continues just to win games.
And that's what this offense is just make sure that you're not hurting the football team. Just do your job, do what you need to do. Don't force footballs in there. And when you get a running game going like this, that surely helps the quarterback. They'll be able to do play-action passes, things like that really will help Tommy get in the rhythm as the game has gone on.
Yeah, the running game has really aided this Fighting Hawk offense. Your Moxie Services Incorporated starting lineups for North Dakota on the offensive side. Mentioned the Yotes with 5 offensive starters back. Same thing for UND. They've played great up front. UND second in the Valley right now in rushing yards per game, over 200 a contest. And they've mixed it up as well with some talents in the air as Jake Richter makes the grab, the senior MSU Moorhead transfer. So they're going to say incomplete here. It was a good stick right at the point of the catch. That was Miles Harden coming over to break up the play. So instead of another first down for UND, we'll back up to the 24-yard line. And Schuster and company will do this again.
South Dakota did a great job there of covering that. North Dakota has shown that playing multiple times, starting games off. Goes down to his third receiver, Richter. Ball gets popped out there at the end. I think you're going to take a look at this one.
Andrew Special, our referee here tonight. Clive Townsend, our replay official, up here in the booth. Take a look at this. Bob Nielsen has a word or two. Watch it again.
Well, I think that's a completed pass and then gets popped out that they're in there.
Jake Richter's had a strong start in his first season in Grand Forks. A couple of grabs in week 1, 3 more a week ago. Even attempted a pass down the field, which didn't quite connect. A couple of nervy moments for Bubba Schweigert as that football was fluttering down the field last week against South Dakota State. But he's a big body. He also, by the way, was Hunter Pickey's pick to click here in this game. He predicted before the game, thus on the sidelines, that Jake was going to catch a touchdown pass today.
He did, absolutely. And I think Jake gives you that Garrett Nog body. And we've talked so much about Garrett and how defenses are really going to be on him. Jake gives you that same kind of body type that you almost have to pick and choose on those because the other one's going to hurt you.
After further review, ruling on the field of incomplete pass stands. Second down.
So they took a look, and they said that Richter did not secure the catch. So as we were, 2nd and 10 from the 24. It was Miles Harden, the freshman from Miami, who stepped up to make the hit. Harden, a great start to his Coyote career, again playing in week 1 last week for this team. A couple of interceptions, a pair of pass breakups. The South Dakota defense struggled a bit last season, but they really came on down the end of the year. They won 2 of their last 3, including a big victory over South Dakota State. That snapped a 10-game losing streak to the Jackrabbits. And they picked up right where they left off with an impressive performance in that 27-20 win over Illinois State. On second down, that's Marcus Preston, the freshman from Lawrence, Kansas, able to make the grab. Some of the guys, by the way, in that 3-4 scheme that North Dakota has been looking at. Zavalny Whitcomb, who forced a fumble, had a fumble recovery, had a sack last game, the big nose tackle, a guy to watch, number 47.
And I know that those, like you said, last week, those were forced turnovers. I know people like to, well, they had 7. Yeah, but those were forced. Those were great plays by the defense, and they made those plays happen. And I know the turnover battle is going to be very important today. Whoever can win that is going to come away with the victory.
Big 3rd and 3 here. Otis Weah gets the totes. He's going to be stacked up about a yard shy of the first down marker. A couple of Coyotes in on the stop. Jakari Starling, who's an All-NBFC freshman winner a season ago in there. But the big man inside making the hits. North Dakota will send out the punting unit on 4th down and 1.
And we've seen the past couple weeks where if Otis usually can break that first tackle, and great job by South Dakota right there, getting that stop on 3rd down, forcing a punt.
Cade Peterson, the junior punter, sends one high, but not very deep. This will be fair caught at the 47-yard line. Favorable field position for the Coyotes when we come back. Scoreless here at the Alara Center.
How you move.
Hit that like button, subscribe. I will be live for these games. I will be live streaming. Do not mind the subscribe button on the screen. That's to make sure that, we can watch the game without them taking it down. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.
Experienced in treating everybody.
You live life on the move. While you determine what direction that may be, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with values. Go with friends. Go with support. Go with convenience.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air.
This is not just another streaming app.
You might want to hold on to something.
This is a mountain of original, bingeable entertainment. This is chilling, unsettling, and brilliantly bonkers. This is weird and hilarious, stylish and cheeky. This is a joy to watch, a wonder to explore, and a peak TV experience. Live sports, news, and a mountain of entertainment. Paramount Plus, now streaming.
The comfort of home. It means a lot. Right now, Regions can help you make it even more comfortable. Rates are low, so it's a good time to consider refinancing. A Regions refi could help you save on interest, reduce monthly payments, or even pay off your mortgage sooner. Just use our online calculator to see what you could save and apply in minutes today. Bring low rates home with Regions. Visit Regions.
Bob Nelson, over 200 wins in his coaching career, coach of the year at the national level at a lot of different stops. Leading his team up north again. Looking to improve to 2-0 on the year as Camp evades the pressure from Navratil and has a man wide open down the sideline. Great catch by Carter Bell. That's the elusiveness of this true freshman quarterback, able to shake away the initial rush and hit his man deep.
That's what he can do. He can buy time. He can break tackles. He can get out of the pocket. He loves playing backyard football like this and just moving around and chucking the ball around. Absolutely great player for South Dakota. And again, does not play like a freshman, just has great confidence. And he's really able to do anything. Move the pocket, stay in the pocket, do whatever they need him to do offensively.
41-yard pass play. Camp to Bell. Carter Bell, the redshirt freshman from Bettendorf, Iowa, who was Camp's main target a week ago. 4 grabs for 64 yards and a touchdown. Here's a second down play. Catch along the boundary and nearly a broken tackle. That's on by Caleb Van Der Esch. Second team All-Valley a season ago. The senior from San Jose. A big body at 6'1", 205. That's going to set up a first and goal situation for the Coyotes from the 3. Camp hit as he threw that time. Hayden Galvin and Josh Navratil able to get home. Camp able to fling that one to the back of the end zone, and he'll live to play another down.
Well, Navratil got a shot right there. You're going to see him come off the edge. For North Dakota, that's what you got to have. You got to get in his head. You got to make sure you're bringing that pressure and getting to the quarterback and getting him down on the ground and kind of force that ball quickly, knowing the pressure was going to come. And you keep getting those hits throughout the game, that starts to get in the quarterback's mindset.
Navratil is the reigning Missouri Valley newcomer of the week. Big game for him last week. 5 tackles, 1.5 for loss and a sack. Second down now. Camp, pass deflected, but caught in the end zone. They're going to say incomplete. Carter Kuchel was there and nearly had the grab.
Yeah, it looked like Kuchel was going to score that and just bounced out there just to drop and kind of had him coming across. You're going to see the ball here come out, hit the turf, but again, it was right there, well-thrown football, just bounces out. He kind of has that sidearm technique. He can get the ball wherever he needs to. That's a well-thrown football right there.
Third and goal. Pressure coming, and Camp is going to throw this one away. Jordan Kennedy and Cy Shannon, a couple of safeties. Shannon now a converted outside linebacker, putting the heat on. So the Fighting Hawk defense stiffens inside the 5-yard line.
Pressure once again, another good hit, ball sails on him. And Coach Holinka is not going to sit back. I think that was the issue in the first half last week was North Dakota was sitting back, was letting South Dakota State do what they wanted. Second half, they came after him. I think that's the same kind of mindset going into this game.
Mason Lorber now on for a chip shot, 20-yard field goal. Pressure off the edge there. CJ Siegel nearly got to that football. We saw UND block a field goal last week. Lorber, though, the senior, able to power one home. And the Coyotes are on the board first. The 41-yard hookup from Camp to Bell results in 3.
For over 25 years, the Golf Center has been your club.
Hit that like button. Don't mind the subscribe button in the middle. That's to make sure that they don't turn off the stream. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. I will be live for these games.
Top 100 club fitters in America. Call for an appointment or stop in just to see what's new.
This is where your game begins, the Golf Center.
Teenagers, if they weren't already giving you enough to sweat over, just wait until they're behind the wheel of the family SUV. Driving at daytime, driving at nighttime, in snow, sleet, and rain. As a parent, all you can do is worry. Or stop in at Northwest Tire and put a set of Nokian and Tire CSs on the family vehicle and worry a little less. One of the safest, most reliable tire brands in the world. Keep your teen driver as safe as possible. Nokian Tires, where safety begins.
Northwest Tire keeps you rolling down the road.
Oh no, look out! Oh.
You kids stay in the car. I'll be right there. Honey, I'm going to need my Carhartts.
When you pull on a set of Carhartt Yukon Extremes from Home of Economy, it's like wrapping yourself in a suit of armor, which can come in handy because sometimes being a parent feels more like being a superhero, and battling the elements is just another part of the job. Find the region's best selection of Carhartt Yukon Extremes at Home of Economy, where your dollar buys more.
A couple of days ago in this building, North Dakota, then number 14 at the time, took on number 3 South Dakota State. They trailed 14-7 at the half, with 21 unanswered in the third quarter. The difference in this one, and the deep ball for the Jacks was effective early, but great adjustments by Brett Holenka and this defense as the game wore on, in that power running game, able to do enough in the end.
Yeah, South Dakota State, probably one of the better teams that's ever come into this building, and North Dakota answered the call. Great second half, made the plays they needed to make, and just overall offense, defense, and special teams were a key to that victory.
The win last week was the 9th in a row for Bubba Schweigert in this building. 5 of those wins coming over ranked opponents, then higher than number 3 SDSU. That's the kind of momentum this North Dakota team has taken into this week. South Dakota, very similar story. You mentioned in the open, such quick turnarounds for both of these groups. Tough again for any team to rebound after a game on Saturday to come right back and play on Thursday. A little tougher when you're coming from the road against South Dakota, traveling from Normal, Illinois, back to Vermilion on Saturday night. A couple of quick days of practice and then right back up here yesterday. Short week for both of these teams to prepare.
Yeah, certainly is, and you're right. I mean, it does make a difference, being on the bus, coming up to Grand Forks. None of these players have played in Grand Forks, have been to Grand Forks before, so there's a lot of new things and a lot of things that they have to get accustomed to. It's a short week for everybody, but you're right. There's something nice about being home the week before.
First catch of the season now for Kristen Cochran, the sophomore from Michigan, who had some flashes as a freshman in 2019. Danny Foreign, the offensive coordinator, mentioned we were going to get number 18 a little more involved today, and that's a good start on first down with the pickup of 11.
And they love those kind of plays. Just get the ball out of Tommy's hand quickly, and you got some blockers out there. First down right there. That's a great call. Get the ball to your playmakers. Just let them go.
Just look at Dalton Gee, the senior from Loomis, California. Pickup of a couple out to the 40-yard line. Gee, a part of this 3-headed running back committee. Got banged up a little bit on Saturday against South Dakota State. He wasn't quite as active as we saw him in week number 1, but a really good receiver out of the backfield.
Well, and that's why it's so important to have those 3 guys and have a rotation and have guys that can do multiple things for you. And you're exactly right. Just wasn't the same. You could kind of tell he was a little bit dinged up there. You just got to make sure. That's why it's so nice to have that depth in that position.
Otis William back on. Roll out for Schuster, looking downfield, and Preston unable to make that grab along the sideline.
The exact same play that they called the Richter incomplete on in the first possession, and Tommy looked all over the place and threw that down to Preston, just wasn't able to complete it. But he does such a good job of reading his receivers and knowing where to go with the football and not forcing the football in there.
3rd and 6 on the way for the former Michigan Player of the Year, a state champ at the high school level. Not highly recruited. North Dakota was his only Division I offer, and it came a little bit late, but UND is certainly happy that he accepted. Schuster is going to loft one in the direction of Garrett Mogg, his main target. Overthrown, though, for the 6'4 junior from the Twin Cities. And it will be a 3-and-out now forced by this Coyote defense.
Good coverage there, too. I think Tommy knew he had to throw that one a little bit high just to make sure that the defenders couldn't get there. Just overthrew that one. You don't say that very often with Garrett Mogg. He oftentimes with that big body can come down with it, but just no chance on that one.
Peterson on for his second punt of the day. His first traveling just 30 yards. This one a little better. Fair catch called for back at the 27-yard line. We mentioned these two have been playing each other for a long time. How about since 1903? It's the 97th meeting all-time. They played every year from after World War II all the way until 2011 when they broke from the Great West. USD going to the Valley, North Dakota going to the Big Sky in 2012. Overall, North Dakota with the advantage, certainly here in Grand Forks. They've won 13 in a row against the Oats. You'd have to go back to 1985, the last time South Dakota won a game here in the Great White North.
And there have been a lot of games where South Dakota has come to the Alara Center and played well, let leads slip away, things like that. I know North Dakota staff has a ton of respect for these guys, and when North Dakota went down there, South Dakota put it on, and Chris Strebler ran all over North Dakota that game. So I guarantee you that's been in their mind all week.
Camp able to make something out of nothing. Tackled by Caden White after a short gain. There is a penalty flag, though, as you see in the backfield.
Personal foul, shot block. Offense number 2, number 81. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. First down.
So Kai Henry and Brett Sampson, the all-conference tight ends, combining that time on the chop. And this is a big 15-yard penalty here. And they really push the Yotes back.
Definitely a costly penalty. And you see right there, low and then high, and get the call, 15-yard. I mean, that's a big penalty to start you off there.
South Dakota was not penalized much in that opener against Illinois State, just 25 total penalty yards. Over half that on that one go. First down and forever here for Camp. He's going to swing one outside, and they're going to get a lot of this back right here as Van Der Esch gets free. All the way back to the original line of scrimmage on 1st and 24.
Well, those are those quick strike plays, and Caleb Nelson comes up here. Angle isn't great and just misses this tackle. And that's some good yardage right there. 2nd and 10. Just erase that penalty.
South Dakota right back roughly on schedule here after being pushed back quite a bit early.
You can see South Dakota checking their offensive play right now, depending on what North Dakota's look they're giving.
Another out that Camp does not quite complete. Javon McQuitty, the junior from Columbia, Missouri, spent the first couple of seasons of his collegiate career at Nebraska and able to make that grab. 3rd and 10.
I like what Coach Alenka's doing here, too. He's still putting those corners on an island. He still has confidence in those guys. You know, last week they got beat a couple times, but he's got faith in those guys to come up and make those tackles. One-on-one plays. South Dakota's getting the ball out quick, putting those guys in those battles.
There goes Brett Alenka, former all-conference linebacker at UND. 3rd and 10. Pressure off the edge. Camp steps up. There's a penalty flag again in the backfield. Pass is complete for big yardage down the middle. At the moment, Caleb Van Der Esch has the Yotes into North Dakota territory once again, but you get the sense this one's coming back.
Holding, offense number 72. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Third down.
That is Shy Digger, the senior left guard. Go ahead.
North Dakota brought a corner blitz there, and that's what Carson Camp does. He just can make plays out of nothing. Multiple looks there by North Dakota. He's still able to find the receiver downfield. And luckily for North Dakota, they got a holding call on that one.
I see Camp a little shake of the head. Able to elude the pressure and find the man open. Once aided by the penalty. So we're back up. Third down and 20 now. And the Coyotes leave the 37-yard line for the first. Drop play to Henry. Got the penalty yardage back, but not enough to move the chains. A gain out to the 29-yard line. So a pair of penalties hurting South Dakota's efforts on their third drive of the football game, and it'll be another punt on the way for the All-American Brady Schutz.
Smart play by North Dakota there in those kind of situations. You got to think draw, you got to think screen, things like that. Great job staying back, only bringing 4 guys. Make sure they don't pick up that first down.
Rival back on his own 26-yard line. Shutt, who is the reigning Valley Special Teams Player of the Week, will send the punts, but by his standards, not what we're used to seeing out near the 40-yard line. Better starting field position here for North Dakota. Tommy Schuster, it's just the 4th time that he's featured in any meaningful game action in his young career. And all he does is beat ranked opponents. 3 big games, 3 big wins all in this building against ranked teams.
Well, I love Coach Schweigert's comments this week, too. He's the same guy, whether it's in practice, whether it's in the game, whether he just threw a touchdown, whether he just threw an interception. He's even keel. He's the same dude no matter what. And I think when your quarterback's like that, everybody else feeds off it. And he has just done a terrific job with this offense.
If you've seen Tommy at press conferences and heard him speak in person, you know he's pretty low-key, pretty even keel. Doesn't get too up and doesn't get too down. And we've said it a lot. When you've got a talented team around you, a strong offensive line with experience, great skill guys, a good running game, you don't have to be a flashy All-America type player. Just steer the ship, keep the chains moving, and good things will happen. And that's what Tommy Schuster has done.
And that's exactly what they want him to do. And they do things that he does well as well. They'll ask him, hey, what do you like here? What kind of plays are you comfortable with? And I think they just have such a great relationship on that offensive side of the ball to know what works for Tommy.
Second carry in a row for Luke Skopna, the sophomore from Illinois, able to grind his way into Coyote territory, down to the 46-yard line.
North Dakota would love to get that running game going, just be able to pound the rock. They were able to do that in the second half last week. Tire the guys out up front to defensively, to be able to run the football. I know that's exactly what UND would want to do.
The Yotes a week ago giving up 167 yards on the ground to Illinois State. North Dakota averaging over 200 a game. Here's 1st and 10 for Schuster, looking deep on play action. He's got Mogg inside the 10-yard line. Garrett Mogg able to get free in the secondary. And North Dakota has a 1st and goal situation on the way.
When you're able to run the football like that, it opens everything else up. We've seen it the last 2 weeks. Same thing here. Play action pass. And Tommy throws a great football right here. Mogg able to go underneath it and catch this. Great pitch and catch right there, and a good big play for North Dakota.
Trey Jackson in on coverage. Beaten by a step or two by the junior. 40-yard pitch and catch from Schuster to Mogg. 1st and goal now for North Dakota from the 6. Play action again. Schuster looking for Derek Paulson. And the tight ends couldn't change direction quick enough to grab that pass.
Good job by Tommy, buying some time right there, but just a little bit thrown behind him. Wasn't able to change direction and stop his momentum to come back for that one.
Paulson, who's been a red zone target, now the senior tight ends, looking for his first collegiate touchdown as a member of the Fighting Hawks. Otis Weah gets the call on 2nd down, loses the football at the goal line, and South Dakota recovers in the end zone.
Wow.
The turnover story continues for this Coyote team. Weah trying to stretch that football across. Jacob Matthew able to recover.
Yeah, you're exactly right. When he spun there, it was almost like he was going to try and reach for the goal line. That ball comes out, and South Dakota able to pounce on that. It's a huge break for the Coyotes.
Elijah Reed in on the hits, helping force the fumble. Second week in a row that Weah, the sophomore from Moorhead, has lost the handle on a football going into the end zone. Last week against the Jacks, he was able to scoop it up and score. Not the case here today against the Coyotes. South Dakota dodging a bullet. They'll take over again, 1st and 10 from the 20. 8th forced turnover of the season for USD. Just the second lost, by the way, for North Dakota, who's played really clean through 2+ games. Run pass option play goes to Travis Tice up the middle, the redshirt freshman from Pratt, Kansas.
It was the right move by Camp there, too. He saw Ray Haas coming off the edge, handed that ball off. That's the right decision in that kind of play.
Devin Janowski, good look at him a moment ago, the junior linebacker, the St. Cloud State transfer, who's having a great start to his UND career. No gain on the play for Tice, who was a bowling ball back there at 5'11", 215. Camp on 2nd and 10, able to step up in the pocket. Overthrowing Carter Bell along the UND boundary. Caden Coppinen and Heaven Holm out in coverage that time.
You can see the arm strength from Camp right there. I mean, he's thrown across the field multiple times so far today. Just a great arm. And he puts that ball where either his guy's going to catch it or it's going to be an incomplete pass. And I think that's really important for a young quarterback to already know that he's got to put that ball in a certain spot.
Camp has been on campus in Vermilion since January of last year. Graduated high school early. A 3-sport star at Normal Community West High School. Faced with a 3rd and 10. Another pass out wide, almost picked off. Evan Holm with the break on the football. McQuitty was the intended target. Camp maybe trusting his arm a little bit too much that time, trying to make that throw.
Yeah, Evan Holm, a great read on that, and we've seen him come down with that football many times in his career, just unable to get this one. But you're exactly right. I think he forces this football, has a little bit too much confidence in himself on that play, and pretty lucky Evan Holm doesn't come away with an interception right here.
Holm, the senior from Medina, Minnesota, already 1 pick on the season. Another punt forced here, the 3rd of the day. Greibel, the fair catch around the 34-yard line. That's why North Dakota's offense will take over. USD's defense forcing the turnover at the goal line, keeping this score 3-0.
Powerful and playful. Delicate and precise. Bold and carefree. It's the way you move, and it moves us. To deliver care for your whole family, to provide options beyond the expected, to help you leave pain in the past and find your way forward. Orthopedics and sports medicine at Sanford Health. Health lives here.
Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Don't mind the subscribe button. That's just to make sure that they don't cut the stream off so you guys can see the game. But hit that like button.
Is a habit. And great ideas don't come ready-made. So bring your work ethic, bring your ambition. This is work worth doing, worth searching, worth knowing. This kind of work is for leaders. This kind of work is for you.
Nothing has embodied the American spirit like the family farmer. Year after year, they continue to work the land and plant their crops. Through droughts, floods, and uncertain markets, they keep that spirit alive with another crop harvested for the next generation. And for that, we tip our hats to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
This game on Midcoast Sports Network is presented by Farmers Union Insurance. Simply different.
3-0 our score, 4:15 left in the first quarter. North Dakota and South Dakota back in action. Good to see a good handful of students in attendance today. Up to 4,000 tickets allotted in a building that usually seats around 12,000. North Dakota dealing on that 25%-ish capacity here in this COVID era. Despite the limited numbers, though, this place really got loud over the first 2 weeks of the season. They're ready to make some noise here if they can get the offense going. But right now, this South Dakota defense stepping up as Skopna has no place to go on 1st and 10.
Well, and you can see that the South Dakota defensive line is just getting a push on North Dakota's offensive line right now. And there's just nowhere for these running backs to go. And they know they have to stop the run. That's the big thing. And you're going to see North Dakota go empty right now, try and get the ball out quick, try and move the football, not having success with the run right now.
Quick hitter to Bo Belquist, the freshman from nearby New Rockford, North Dakota, 9-man player of the year here in the Peace Garden State, able to carry it out to the 42-yard line. We haven't seen a lot of 5 wide this season from Danny Freund, but he hinted we were going to see that perhaps once or twice here today.
And getting the ball out quick. I think that's the important thing is Tommy not taking hits, just getting the ball to the playmakers, letting them be in space right there. You pick up 8 yards on 2nd down. Those are the kind of plays you need. And again, it gets you in that rhythm, move the football down the field. Those are great play designs, especially for the young quarterback.
Schuster now with the 3rd and 2. It's Marcus Preston joining the backfield before flexing out wide again. Weah gets the carry. Able to bounce it outside and keep his footing. He's going to be awfully close to the 1st down. That's what Weah can bring. Certainly that balance that we've seen and the power. And it'll be enough to move the chains.
Just fantastic effort. I mean, we've seen this so much where there are plays that are just dead and there's nowhere to go and there's no way this is going to work. And Otis Weah's effort makes these plays happen. It's something you can't teach, and he's just such a hard runner, such a luxury for North Dakota to have a running back like that can pick up those hard yards, especially when a play has nowhere to go.
Trey Jackson at 5'10", 170, the sophomore cornerback, trying to bring down Weah, who is only 5'9" as well, but over 200 pounds, averaging 90 yards a game this season, able to grind his way to move the chains on 3rd down, and now it's Preston right back in action. Off screen, by the way, Kyle Hergel, who's one of the emotional leaders, shall we say, of this North Dakota offensive line, mixing it up a little bit with Zavalny Whitcomb, the senior from Omaha. Those two broken up. 2nd and 2 now. North Dakota back inside USD territory, and Skopna is going to be about a half-yard shy of the 1st, able to lower the shoulder and get out to the 46.
And we haven't seen this from North Dakota either. They've gone tempo these last couple possessions, gotten on the ball, gotten lined up, and have gone with it. Quincy Vaughn, another perfect time, 3rd down and short. Good time to bring him in the game. We've seen that the past couple weeks as well. Just kind of gives you that different element.
Vaughn, the 6'4", 240-pound freshman out of Hamilton, Ontario, under center. He's going to take it himself. The QB sneak all the way out to the 42-yard line. Great hole there. Just opened up on the right side of the offensive line.
Absolutely. And sometimes you got to do that. You can't go right over the center. You've got to kind of move your body. And Quincy knew where he was going to go with that football as soon as he got up there and read where the defense was. Big 1st down for UND. Keep this drive alive.
Vaughn, who was very much in the conversation to win the starting job this past spring. Schuster in the ends, with his experience in Moxie, able to pick up that QB1 label. He's run with it so far. Here's 1st and 10. They'll try the flea flicker. No place to go with the football, and Schuster's going to tuck and run. A lot of space across the 30, and he's got the 1st down. Garrett Mogg and Jake Richter flooding right. Yotes read it well, but the whole left side of the field wide open for the freshman quarterback to take advantage.
And we just keep talking about this, but these are the decisions, and this is why he's the starting quarterback. Could have thrown that football, right? Trick play, let's hit a big one. It wasn't there. That would not have worked. He makes the right decision, tucks the ball, goes in, picks up a 1st down without forcing the football. Just so cool, calm, and collective back there. And that's the reason why he's the starting quarterback right now.
Gain of 14 for Schuster. 4th 1st down on this drive for North Dakota. They'll go to the air again. Kristen Cochran, his 2nd grab here of the 1st quarter. Another pickup out to the 22-yard line. Gain of 6 by the sophomore.
And North Dakota really enjoying those tunnel screens right now. They've thrown that a couple times, been able to pick up at least 5 yards each time they've thrown it. Those are good plays. You've got smaller corners against bigger wide receivers. That's a matchup you like if you're the Fighting Hawks.
Schuster the hard count this time. Yotes don't bite. And that is going to be the last play here of the 1st quarter. Another heady play by the redshirt freshman, trying to gain a couple of cheap yards with the clock winding down. A lot of plays in the opening 15 minutes, both of these teams with a handful of possessions. Just 3 points on the scoreboard, though. Second quarter action between South Dakota and North Dakota coming up next here on Midco West End. Last time South Dakota came up north to play UND here in Grand Forks. You go back to the September 2016 season. This game was wild. UND led early. South Dakota built a 24-point advantage, or sorry, they built a 24-point second quarter to lead 27-14 at the half. UND would score 20 unanswered in the second, a couple of pick sixes to force overtime. Fighting Hawks would eventually win it in double OT on a 1-yard Keaton Studsrud touchdown. These two were involved that day, the first time they had met as head coaches on opposite sides of the fields. South Dakota got a little revenge the following season down in Vermillion, a 45-7 victory, which Ryan alluded to earlier. Comebacks, though, it seems like in this building, we're gonna see a couple of them here as we flash back during the course of this broadcast. No lead is safe when these two get together.
It certainly isn't, and I remember that game. It did not have a good feeling right away. It was like, okay, this is not going to be a good season. They were already 0-2, and then all of a sudden, the spark happened in that second half, and that was a great comeback by North Dakota, and just a terrific game overall.
That 2016 season saw UND go unbeaten in the Big Sky. That win against South Dakota, propelling them to 9 straight victories, and they would go on to the FCS playoffs as a seed. As Vaughn on 3rd and 3 puts one in the air, caught, touchdown North Dakota. Adam Zavalny, the freshman tight end. Freshman to freshman, and North Dakota's on top.
Well, that's a new wrinkle right there. Great play design. Quincy Vaughn comes in, you're thinking run the ball. And he throws a perfect ball right there for a touchdown. That's a great play design. South Dakota had not seen that. That's a brand new wrinkle. And a huge touchdown for North Dakota. Great play coming out there. And a good ball by Quincy as well.
First career touchdown throw for Vaughn. First career touchdown catch for Zavalny, the redshirt freshman from Park River. Big time answer for North Dakota. The Fighting Hawks up by 4 in the early stages of the second. Quincy Vaughn and co. coming back strong.
This is not just another streaming app.
You might want to hold on to something.
This is a mountain of original, bingeable entertainment. This is chilling, unsettling, and brilliantly bonkers. This is weird and hilarious, stylish and cheeky. This is a joy to watch.
Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Don't mind the subscribe button. That's just to make sure that we can watch the game without them cutting off the stream.
Now streaming.
For all the sniffles, sneezes, and Super Dad snack times, choose Kleenex Ultra Soft Tissues. Made for extra comfort, 3 layers strong. Kleenex, for all the moments.
I will be live on Saturday. Yeah, I will be live on Saturday. I will be doing 2 games on Saturday.
You create a new one. Regions can help with advice and tools to help you budget, save, and plan your financial future, so you can brave a new beginning.
How many cookies do you think is in this blast?
That's a lot because there's cookie dough and there's the Oreo and the scoop. There's cookie dough everywhere. Sonic Oreo Big Scoop Cookie Dough Blast and Sundae.
I'm actually really impressed by this.
Introducing the Land Rover Defender. Just the thing for those little everyday trips. Good in heavy traffic. Perfect for catching up with the relatives. And dropping into the car wash. On helping hand. Or beating the commute.
Since the Teddy Roosevelt administration, you're going to have a lot of shared history. One young man that is making his mark, trying to write his own story here, Adam Zavalny. First career catch for the redshirt freshman, a guy who was a receiver coming in. They decided to move him to tight end, and he's got a huge future in this program catching the football.
He certainly does, and Zavalny's name has come up multiple times in talking to the coaches, and he's a guy that they are really, really excited about. And it's a great play right there and a good touchdown for UND.
Pretty good throw by Vaughn as well on the run to put one on the money. So North Dakota, after fumbling at the 1-yard line on their last possession, defense holds, forces a 3 and out, and they march 10 plays, 66 yards. Quincy Vaughn hitting the freshman tight end to make it 7-3. South Dakota now a chance to respond. What have you seen from Carson Camp in the opening 15 minutes, Ryan?
Well, I think it's the same thing. When he's got time, he's able to make plays. Forced a couple balls, and one of them could have been picked off. But he's just a really special athlete back there. And I think North Dakota has to pick and choose when that pressure is going to be brought. Because if they don't get to him, he's got the ability to run the ball.
Well, loses the football here on the snap. There is that improvisation, able to scoop it up and make something out of nothing, a gain of 1. Camp today 6 of 14 through the air, 84 yards passing, 41 of those coming on that big hitter to Carter Bell. And actually, that is not 18, I'm sorry, that is 16. Hayden Eckert, who we did see take snaps last week down in Normal, so a little different look here for the Coyotes. It was a heated quarterback battle among 4 different signal callers to replace Austin Simmons, who was second-team All-Conference back in 2019. Camp ultimately winning the job. He's handing off here on second down and 9. No place to go, though, for Tice.
Jackson Turner right down the line on that play, knowing his responsibility, knowing where he needed to go. Good play right there. Another third down for South Dakota. Be interesting to see if North Dakota brings a little pressure here.
Nice job by Hayden Reynolds as well. You see the young man for Fargo stepping up and making the hits. Shining product. Third down and 7. Camp needs the 39-yard line to extend the drive. North Dakota brings pressure. Camp steps up and eludes it, and he's going to take off. Sliding down at the 40-yard line. He's got the first down. No, they're going to spot him back at the 38. And Camp, who took a shot at the end of the play, is a little bit slow getting up.
That's exactly what I talked about. If you don't get there, he's got the ability to run the ball. Really close to a first down right here.
Tough spot that time from a Coyote perspective. It's marked back at the 30-yard line, so that'll bring up 4th down and 1. You saw the hit after the slide. We saw that last week as well. Schuster had a play where he rolled out, slid down, got hit as he was in motion. Tough bang-bang play that time, and no flag was called. Shut on again. 4th time today. This is a beauty as Greibel is backtracking here. This will bounce at the 12-yard line and go out inside the 10. Fantastic punts from the preseason All-American. North Dakota will have 91 yards to go to find Pater, but they do lead 7-3 with 12:02 left in the second.
This is not just another streaming app.
You might want to hold on to something.
This is a mountain of original
Hit that like button. I will be live on Saturday for 2 games. Don't mind the subscribe button. That's just to make sure that they don't end the stream. That means we can watch the game.
This is a joy to watch, a wonder to explore, and a peak TV experience. Live sports, news, and a mountain of entertainment. Paramount Plus, now streaming.
For all the sniffles, sneezes, and super dad snack times, choose Kleenex Ultra Soft Tissues. Made for extra comfort, 3 layers strong. Kleenex, for all the moments.
Do you taste that mesquite butter? And add all the fixings. Bacon, lettuce, grilled onions.
Pickles.
With the barbecue sauce?
Sonic Mesquite Butter Bacon Cheeseburger.
That's what I'm talking about.
Introducing the Land Rover Defender. Just the thing for those little everyday trips. Good in heavy traffic. Perfect for catching up with the relatives. And dropping into the car wash en route. Giving someone a helping hand.
What up, Dennis? What up, everybody in the chat?
Pretty stingy last week. Turnover is a big part of that. We've been talking about it all afternoon. 7 takeaways, and we could go 1 already today.
Yeah, really unheard of. 7 turnovers in one game. Terrific job by South Dakota. Be able to bring the pressure, get the fumbles, the interceptions, and just a momentum swing over and over again for your football team. And you can't say enough about that defense last week. And 1 already today.
This Yo defense, with the aid of their putter, Brady Scott. Apologies to Brady and his family for saying his name wrong for the opening 15 minutes here. You should know that one, probably, because he is an All-American. A 51-yard punt for Brady. 1st and 10 from the 9. Luke Skopna gets the toss out to the 18-yard line.
Just a toss play, getting Skopna on the outside, using his speed. Good job getting blockers out there. And sometimes you got to get the defense going east and west. We saw that last week with South Dakota State as well. These are the kind of plays you got to get those linebackers moving, get the D-line moving. Good job by the offensive line getting out there, getting on bodies.
Nate Nguyen, the center, who was the Valley Offensive Lineman of the Week 2 weeks ago after North Dakota's win over Southern Illinois, helping pave the way. A lot of starts up front for those guys, and they're making a difference again today as Belquist takes the pass out across the 20. The freshman receivers got the 1st down. So already you will be able to get out of the shadow of the goalpost here.
And Derek Paulson gets the huge block on there to make sure both Belquist can get that 1st down. Put a lot on those big receivers. When you get smaller corners, take advantage of that, and that's exactly what North Dakota's doing, getting on the outside.
Second catch of the day for Belquist. Schuster now 7 of 11 for 86 yards through the air. Skopna with a knife through the middle out to the 29-yard line. Luca was a Western Illinois commit for his ACL his senior year of high school. Just didn't quite feel like that was the place he was supposed to go. Wanted to maybe branch out a little bit and thought that the North Dakota coaching staff really stood by his side after that ACL tear. Came to campus and he has been dynamite since he's gotten on the field.
Well, and in recruiting too, that's half the battle, is building that relationship and going to a place that you believe in the coaches, you believe in the university. And I think everybody involved is really glad he made that decision to come up to Grand Forks.
He's got the call again. Not as much space on the 2nd down and 4 carry this time. Job by the Coyote defense up front. Micah Rome, the Minnesota transfer, in there, among others. They'll bring a 3rd down and 2 for Bubba Schweigert in the offense.
And South Dakota doing everything, selling out to stop the run right now, bringing linebackers up, just making sure that that run game isn't able to get going.
UND today 3 of 5 on 3rd down. South Dakota, meanwhile, just 1 of 6 in the opening 20 minutes of action. Way at the back alongside Schuster. Another designed rollout for the freshman. He tries to fit one into the window, and that is caught. Belquist along the sideline. Not a lot to aim for Schuster that time, and he fit one in.
Yeah, you don't know who to give the credit to. This is a great ball and a great catch. Both these individuals needed to make that play. That's a well-thrown football, but a terrific catch by Belquist on the sideline. That's a tough play. That's an overall 2 young guys making a good play for North Dakota right there.
Gain of 13 on 3rd and short. Elijah Reed, the all-conference safety, was in coverage and was right there. It needed a perfect throw to complete that pass. Schuster delivered. Belquist with the great catch, and now Weah carries the football out to midfield. 3rd drive in a row that this North Dakota offense has found the rhythm.
Yeah, that's been the thing. There's been a rhythm to this. Everybody's been able to do the run and the pass. It's been working well. You look back on the 1 turnover, if that wouldn't have happened overall, Coach Froen and North Dakota have to be happy with how this offense has been moving down the field.
They've nearly doubled up on South Dakota in terms of total offense so far, 205 to 119. 2nd down and 5 after the 5-yard gain from Weah. Schuster on play action in trouble. They set the screen up to Skokna. Great tackle in the open field by Reed. There is a penalty flag in the secondary. Great break on the football that time by Elijah Reed to prevent what could have been a huge gain here.
You're exactly right.
There is no foul for offensive pass interference. Ball was caught behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd down.
That's a terrific play by Elijah Reed. North Dakota had blockers out there. That was going to be a huge play, and he comes up, and before the blockers can get to him, and chops it down. That's a huge play, maybe a touchdown-saving tackle by Elijah Reed right there.
We've seen what Skokna can do in the open field, certainly in the kick return game. He had a 43-yard run last week when he got in space. Big stop by Reed. Now it brings up 3rd and 3. Fighting Hawks need the 45 to extend this drive. Low snap. Schuster over to Weah, who makes a juggling catch along the sideline. No, they're going to say he did not secure the catch. It would have been enough for the 1st down.
Yeah, just bobble play right here. And even from the start, it looked like Otis was motioning and then motion back out to the wide receiver spot. Just looked like there was some confusion there. It would have been enough for a 1st down, just not able to haul that one in.
Cade Peterson back on. Cade, of course, completing a pass to Garrett Mogg last week in a faked punt situation. A beauty this time inside the 10. Kick coverage solid, the punt perfect, and South Dakota now will take over deep at their own end when we come back to the Alara Center in Grand Forks.
This is not just another streaming app.
You might want to hold on to something.
This is a mountain of original, bingeable entertainment. This is chilling, unsettling.
Hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button. I will be live for 2 games this Saturday. Hit that like button. And don't mind the subscribe button on the screen. That's just to make sure we can watch the game without them cutting off the live.
Live sports, news, and a mountain of entertainment. Paramount Plus, now streaming.
How many cookies do you think is in this blast?
That's a lot because there's cookie dough and there's the Oreo and the scoop. There's cookie dough everywhere. Sonic Oreo Big Scoop Cookie Dough Blast and Sundae.
I'm actually really impressed by this.
Introducing the Land Rover Defender. Just the thing for those little everyday trips. Good in heavy traffic. Perfect for catching up with the relatives. And dropping into the car wash en route. Giving someone a helping hand. Or beating the commute. And putting your feet up after a long day.
Bringing years of professional experience to the classroom, professors at Kaiser U are dedicated to providing career-focused, hands-on training that allows our students to focus on mastering their craft. Our small classes will allow you to build personal connections with your professors. Your educational experience is our priority.
Never before in recorded history in South Dakota Coyotes football had a true freshman started a season opener. That's what Carson Camp did a week ago, essentially in his hometown. He's the first true freshman to start a single game in over 20 years. Those were his numbers a week ago in that win over Illinois State.
Yeah, did he come out and perform? I mean, look at those numbers, 221 yards, 2 touchdowns. And I think if you watch that game, his ability to make plays and make something out of nothing at times is really what sets him apart.
Camp able to win the job over the likes of Jacob Parks, who was a redshirt junior, Tyler Sagalis, who was a senior from Illinois, Aiden Eckern, who we've seen in this game. It was an open competition. Bob Nielsen kept it under wraps really until the opening kickoff. And now Kai Henry, a chance to get North Dakota back on their heels here. Good gain on 1st and 10 from his own 6-yard line. First time we've really seen the senior from Miami have any kind of daylight today.
Well, this is a big play. You're in the, you're right in your end zone right there. You have nowhere to go. Pick up a big play like that, and now all of a sudden you're on the 25-yard line. Perfect spot to start your drive again. It's a huge first down play.
Gain of 19 for Henry, who gets the call once again. Henry a bit quiet last week in the win over the Redbirds. 16 carries for just 35 yards. Had a grab for a couple of catches. This is Henry out of the backfield now. He's got another first down here across the 35. C.J. Siegel able to fight off Javon McQuitty to make the tackle.
We've seen North Dakota pick up yards on this. This is a running back swing play right there. Good job by the South Dakota offense. Receivers getting downfield, getting on blocks. Another first down for the Coyotes.
Just like we saw North Dakota do on their last drive, South Dakota putting some plays together back-to-back after starting on their own 6-yard line. It's Henry in motion. Fighting Hawks bring pressure. Pass low, but Henry makes the grab anyway and breaks a tackle. Kai Henry into North Dakota territory, all the way down to the 44-yard line. They have started to turn to number 2's way, and he's rewarded this Coyote offense.
Yeah, Kai Henry, good play right here. North Dakota has been so good the last couple weeks tackling, and there have been at least 2 today where they have taken bad angles on this. Pressure's there. They're just about to get to him. He's able to get that football off. First down for South Dakota again.
Noah Larson on the quarterback hurry, but Camp able to get it away. Caleb Nelson, the freshman cornerback, a little shaken up on the play for UND. It is one area where UND has been, I don't want to say lucky, but they've been basically injury-free. Outside of Brock Bolton, who's not in the lineup again today, nursing that lower body injury. He's week to week right now. Everybody else essentially a full go. Here's 1st and 10. Another grab this time by Carter Bell. Ty Shannon thought that play was going to the outside receiver, not the one on the inside. The Oats keep rolling, another first down.
Ty Shannon ran right by you, exactly right. That was going to the outside receiver, and there's Bell, ran right by the football. Another first down for South Dakota.
Pickup of 11. Tice on the carry. He's been bottled up today. No place to go for Travis Tice.
North Dakota knows how important on 1st and 2nd down it is to stop the run and not let them pick up big yards. They've got to just make sure they're assignment sharp up front. Good play right there. Those are the kind of plays on 1st and 2nd down you need.
4 receiver set for Camp. 2nd down and 12 after the loss of 2. Pressure again coming, and they get home this time. Jalen Johnson in the backfield. Graham DeVore there as well. First sack of the ball game for UND. And it's a big one here as it knocks South Dakota all the way back near midfield.
Good pressure by North Dakota. Again, tries to hurdle right there. Just the pursuit of North Dakota and the defense just coming down on the quarterback. As he steps up in the pocket. But the pressure finally gets there and is able to bring down Camp.
Camp was sacked 4 times a week ago. The South Dakota offensive line allowed 5 total sacks to the Redbirds in that 27-20 win. The freshman faced with a 3rd down and 19. They need the 23 to keep the drive going. Evan Holm coming on the corner blitz this time. There is a flag on the play. And perhaps another one coming as Camp's face mask got pulled that time. He's going to throw this one essentially away. We'll have a little bit to get sorted out here on that 3rd and forever play that might result either in offsetting penalties or it might just be a hold here against South Dakota. I don't see a second flag on the field. Actually, when you see the referee's hat drop, that probably indicates there is another flag on the play. We'll get it all sorted out here in a moment.
There is no foul for a defensive face mask on the play. Holding, offense number 72. The penalties declined. Result of the play is 4th down.
Evan Holm right away almost loses his footing, but he's still able to get some pressure right here, make Camp step up in the pocket. You see him kind of take off here. And right around the neck there, that's a good call. That's a bang bang play right there, and that's the right call by the officials. But it was that pressure once again by North Dakota, making Camp step up in the pocket and tuck it and run.
So the South Dakota offense able to drive 53 yards from their own 6-yard line. They get into North Dakota territory, but a penalty and a big sack. The Fighting Hawk defense steps up. Scott, though, able to pin the Fighting Hawks inside their own 1-yard line. Great coverage down the field by the Coyotes. Caleb Vander Esch, the all-conference receiver, making the grab. 4:01 left, 7-3 still our score.
This is not just another streaming app.
You might want to hold on to something.
This is a mountain of original, bingeable entertainment. This is chilling, unsettling, and brilliant and bonkers. This is weird and hilarious, stylish and cheeky. This is a joy to watch, a wonder to explore, and a peak TV experience. Live sports, news, and a mountain of entertainment. Paramount Plus, now streaming.
Do you taste that mesquite butter? And add all the fixings. Bacon, lettuce, grilled onions.
Pickles.
With the barbecue sauce?
Sonic Mesquite Butter Bacon Cheeseburger.
That's what I'm talking about.
Introducing the Land Rover Defender. Just the thing for those little everyday trips. Good in heavy traffic. Perfect for catching up with the relatives. And dropping into the car wash en route. Giving someone a helping hand. Or beating the commute. And putting your feet up after a long day.
Bringing years of professional experience to the classroom, professors at Kaiser U are dedicated to providing career-focused, hands-on training that allows our students to focus on mastering their craft. Our small classes will allow you to build personal connections with your professors. Your educational experience is our priority. We offer career-focused majors taught by industry professionals in a personalized setting, affording you a learning environment that is both dynamic and interactive.
Florida is getting back to work, but let's make sure we continue to follow all state safety guidelines. At Lettle Writer, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, we are taking every precaution to ensure the safety of our clients and staff. Let's get back to work. Stay safe out there.
Searching for a fresh, new luxury?
This game on Midcoast Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
If you're looking for an MVP of the first half of this football game, let me nominate Brady Scott, 5 punts so far, an average of 44 yards a boot. He's got 3 inside the 20, 2 of 50 plus, and he has just pinned North Dakota inside their own 1-yard line. Not too shabby.
Yeah,
you take that.
What an absolute luxury that is for South Dakota to have a guy that you're able to pin teams deep like that. I mean, that is just something that is so important for your team. And just like you said, a MVP so far.
This Coyote offense, by the way, had started that previous drive at their own 6, even though that drive doesn't result in any points. The fact that they can get out of their own end zone, get to midfield, and allow that man to go to work. Field positions, it's a 4-point game. Field position is going to be huge as we move forward.
So important. And when you're in the back of your end zone like that, everything gets to be a little bit more precise. You've got to make sure everything's perfect, because if not, well, it could be really, really detrimental to your team.
Dalton Gee was able to pick up 2 on first down. It's Belquist in motion on 2nd and 8. Schuster to throw. He's going to lob one in. Great catch. Garrett Mogg coming up with the grab. Schuster again put it on a platter. And the junior has another nice reception to not only give UND a little breathing room, but a first down.
Good confidence for your quarterback as well. And this is just showing Tommy, hey, we got faith in you. You make the right decision. Well-thrown football. Good first down for North Dakota. And you're exactly right. Now you got some breathing room here. Good play offensively for UND.
Second catch of the day for Mogg. He's got 56 yards now. Play action again. Schuster. Another smart throwaway here. He wanted Belquist deep. The Yotes read it well. Trey Jackson and Elijah Reed out in coverage.
Just great coverage right there. Bought as much time as he could. Tommy tried to keep rolling, wait for his receivers. There's just nowhere to go on that Coyote secondary. Great job staying on their man, making sure that UND couldn't complete that pass.
Danny Freund now in year 2 of calling the plays for this Fighting Hawk offense is stressed how they want to get Tommy rolling out of the pocket, allow him to make those quick reads. He's not taken a sack this season. The offensive line, a big part of that, but the play calling as well. Here's 2nd and 10. Dangerous pass this time, nearly intercepted by Miles Harden. Great break on the football by the freshman. And that one would have gone for 6. Zavalny sort of broke it up, almost made the catch himself.
Yeah, that's one you dream of right there, and that's a great read. You're exactly right. I think Zavalny getting in there just at the end broke that up. Just a terrific read right there, and Harden could have taken that one for 6.
And the last time these two teams played in this building, we saw Cole Reyes and Deion Harris on the UND side turn interceptions into 6. A couple of pick sixes of Chris Strevler back in 2016. Just about the opposite there. UND's offense needing a moment to talk things over with 2:41 and a 3rd and 10 on the way. Let's step aside for a second, hear from our friends at Avera Orthopedics.
No matter how hard we try to prevent them,
Hit that like button. Hit that like button. And don't mind the subscribe button in the middle. That's just to make sure they don't end the stream. That way we can watch the game. Hit that like button. Also, I will be live for 2 games on Saturday. Hit the like button.
This is not just...
South Dakota nearly with their 2nd takeaway of the afternoon. UND leads it though 7-3. A Quincy Vaughn to Adam Zavalny touchdown, the difference in this game so far. Coming up at halftime, a chance to check in with Fighting Hawks football day by day, episode 3 on the way. Plus, our own Val Sussex. Going to stop by and talk about the Hearts for Hawks campaign, plus highlights and stats as well. It's all coming up at the half. 2:41 left until we get to the halftime interval. 3rd and 10 now. Schuster needs the 29 to keep the drive going. He'll step up and find Dalton Gee, who's able to spin and reach, and he's going to have enough for the first down, it appears, right at the line to gain. It was a short tackle by Jack Cochran, who's a 2-year captain, a 2nd-team All-Valley performer at inside linebacker, excuse me, but Gee able to find enough to get the first.
Cochran, great job. That's open field tackle right there, just a one-on-one. Gee, just enough to get that first down and keep this drive alive, but that's a great open field tackle by Cochran.
Just a reminder, North Dakota will get the football to start the second half after USD won the toss and elected to receive. Here's Mogg now, again able to find a pocket of space. Schuster drops it in the buckets. And UND out near midfield after starting this drive inside their own one.
Not a lot of room right here. You're exactly right. There's a window, and he hits that where it needs to be. There's 3 South Dakota defenders right there. Just a well-thrown football right on the sidelines. Just a great play.
Pickup of 19. Schuster now 12 of 19 on the day, 147 through the air. Third grab for that man. Mogg, North Dakota's leading returning receiver this season after graduating their top 2 guys, Noah Wanzik and Travis Toivonen last year. Quick hitter to Gee, caught along the sidelines. Short gain to the 49-yard line. Clock stops, though, with 1:37 left. 2 timeouts in Bubba Schweigert's back pockets.
Just getting the ball out quick, 4-yard gain right there. And those are the kind of plays Tommy likes. He's comfortable with those. He's got a good rhythm going right now.
Another impressive drive by this Fighting Hawks offense. Second down and 7. Blitz coming. Schuster steps up. He's got a man wide open. Great play on the football that time by South Dakota again in the secondary. Trey Jackson able to break up the pass intended for Mogg. Looked like that ball sailed just a little at the end.
I think it did. Jackson, good job getting over top, though. You get the speed guys out there. Those are great plays for North Dakota. That's what you got to have happen. Third down, tough play. Good call there by UND.
Third grab of the half for Cochran. First and 10 now. Schuster on the rollout. Another tight window, and he cannot fit it in this time. Intercepted by the Coyotes. Second takeaway of the ball game. Brock Mogensen on the pick.
We haven't seen that a lot out of Tommy. Just a forced football. There's nothing there. Tries to throw behind his body, across his body. And another turnover for South Dakota. That's the golden rule. You never want to throw across your body like that unless it's wide open. Right there, you had 2 South Dakota defenders. And another turnover for USD.
Mogensen, the sophomore from Farmington, Minnesota, led the Yotes with 12 tackles and a sack a week ago. Big play here to keep the Fighting Hawks off the scoreboard and give Carson Camp and this offense a chance now to pull back in front before the half. First and 10, blitz coming. Camp steps up, pass deflected and incomplete in the end. Keaton Koppinen was in the area. Good coverage by Ray Haas, who had a pick last week from his outside linebacker position. Big 6'5" senior, North Dakota's best coverage linebacker.
Yeah, we were on the field too, and he's just got that body. He's tough to go against because he can be the guy that's in the middle, but he can move as well, so he can be the guy on the outside coverage. Like I said, interception last week, a guy that North Dakota feels comfortable putting him out way on a second receiver like they are right now.
Draw play to Henry on 2nd and 10. There's the explosiveness. The senior from Miami across the 40 out to the 41-yard line. A pickup of 16. And that changes the play calling now for Ted Schlafly in this offense.
Well, and you've got to feel good when Kai Henry can do those kind of things. Bounce it to the outside. First down for USD.
Henry again. They keep it on the ground here. The Coyotes have all 3 timeouts, and they will use one here with 38 seconds left in the second quarter. Just a reminder, this is just the start of a busy weekend of North Dakota athletics coming your way on Midco SN. College hockey coming up tomorrow night. Senior night from Ralph Engelstad Arena. UND and Omaha going at it for the 4th time in the last 3 weeks. UND now #1 in the country on the ice. Omaha just outside the top 10. 7:30, puck drop shortly after. We're excited for that one as we'll send out the seniors tomorrow. UND, of course, will play the following week, also at the Route, but in the NCHC quarterfinals. Games you can watch live on Midco SN. We're going to have a lot of South Dakota athletics on the network as well come this weekend with the Summit League tournament beginning down in Sioux Falls. The USD women, the 2 seed. The USD men, the 2 seed as well. Both of those games will take place on Saturday from the Pentagon this year. North Dakota's men, the 5 seed. They'll play on Sunday evening at 5:45 against Oral Roberts. Second down now and 8 from the 43. Camp trying to step up, and he's going to get dropped again. Navratil and Johnson in the backfields. Second sack of the half for this Fighting Hawk defense. And that might just temper expectations for this Yoda offense of trying to do anything here with only 20 seconds left now in the half.
And UND stays in their lanes here, which is so important with a quarterback that can run. You can see almost every gap is filled. There's nowhere for Camp to go. And right from the start, UND had pressure on him. It's a great job by those guys getting where they need to be and making sure he didn't have anywhere to go.
The loss of 6 makes it 3rd and 14, and the Yotes happy to let the clock wind down on half number 1. A defensive battle through 30 minutes here at the Alaris Center. Just one touchdown between the two. That was the recipient, Adam Zavalny, from 19 yards out, courtesy of Quincy Vaughn, the difference. The Yotes forcing 2 turnovers, though. More to come here at the half from the Alaris.
This is not just another streaming app.
You might want to hold on to something.
This is a mountain of original, bingeable entertainment. This is chilling, unsettling, and brilliantly bonkers. This is weird and hilarious, stylish and cheeky. This is a joy to watch, a wonder to explore, and a peak TV experience. Live sports, news, and a mountain of entertainment. Paramount Plus, now streaming.
Do you taste that mesquite butter?
Mm.
And add all the fixings. Bacon, lettuce, grilled onions.
Pickles.
With the barbecue sauce?
Mm. Sonic Mesquite Butter Bacon Cheeseburger.
That's what I'm talking about.
Introducing the Land Rover Defender. Just the thing for those little everyday trips. Good in heavy traffic. Perfect for catching up with the relatives. And dropping into the car wash en route. Giving someone a helping hand. Or beating the commute. And putting your feet up after a long day.
Bringing years of professional experience to the classroom, professors at Kaiser U are dedicated to providing career-focused, hands-on training that allows our students to focus on mastering their craft. Our small classes will allow you to build personal connections with your professors. Your educational experience is our priority. We offer career-focused majors taught by industry professionals.
Grand Forks, number 4, North Dakota, a 7-3 lead over number 20, South Dakota. 3rd straight home game in a row for UND. Their first lead at the break, though, in that stretch. Time now to check in on the latest installment of our web series, Day by Day, Inside Fighting Hawks Football. We think this edition is going to be something both UND and USD fans will enjoy, as it features a win over South Dakota State, as well as a look ahead, of course, to the game that we're watching right now, courtesy of Bob Nielsen and Bubba Schweigert. Here you go, Day by Day, the latest episode. We have an early season Missouri Valley Football Conference litmus test today in Grand Forks as number 14 North Dakota plays host to number 3 South Dakota State.
You know, I thought our guys had a really good week of preparation. We maybe were a little too juiced up at the beginning of the game.
South Dakota State's a really good team. You know, they made a lot of plays that, you know, we had to adjust to.
Jackson Yankee. Inside the 10-yard line and into the end zone. Touchdown, South Dakota State.
They hit us on some big plays early that they're tough to withstand. That takes the life out of your team a little bit, but our guys really hung in there.
We put so much time into special teams. Coach Kostic and all the rest of the coaches, they do a good job. And I think guys really buy in to those units on our team. And you can see they make huge plays every week for us.
Peterson, the junior punts, are back on. And they will fake it here. Caught by Mogg. And he's got space in front. First down, North Dakota, and much more.
We can get a fake punt to stay on the field. It really helps us out. We went down and punched one in.
To hammer it in the end zone, those are hard yards to get.
The first half, we left some stuff on the table. But I think at halftime, we did a good job of finding out exactly what we want to do in the second half and how we want to attack them.
Big confidence boost for our team was the opening drive of the second half to go down and score.
Scoped at the carry, the dive, touchdown, North Dakota.
Defensively, I thought our guys did a good job of figuring out a way to get some pressure.
Credit to our coaching staff for making adjustments. That's just what it came down to, adjusting to what they were doing. They're making some big plays early on, and we just had to change.
UND puts the pressure on, and they get home. Block punts, North Dakota. A trio of fighting Hawks in the backfield.
If we win the special teams battle, we're most likely going to win the game. And plays like that, they swing games, momentum, and everything like that. So we need all those plays we can get out there.
Touchdown, North Dakota! Garrett Mogg able to get across the pylon, and North Dakota's on top for the first time today.
They're just so difficult to run the ball against, but we had to keep running it to open up other parts of our offense. And a guy like Otis, he's going to hammer away, and eventually he'll bust one.
Weah able to bounce off the first three men, and he's loose. Otis Weah inside the 20. Loses the football, scoops it up, and is hit for the touchdown.
The touchdown run. Obviously, we want that to end differently, but it was a really good run.
A landmark win for the North Dakota Fighting Hawks as they will knock off number 3 South Dakota State today.
This is what we do. We're in here every day grinding, and no one gave us any sort of respect coming in here. We knew that was going to happen, so we just had to come and take it from them.
Yeah, I was really proud of our team today. It was hard fought when, we just really did a good job of sticking with it and staying as focused as we could against, a very good football team.
This is not just another streaming app.
You might want to hold on to something.
This is a mountain of original, bingeable entertainment.
Response of our team when we got down 17. When that happens, you need something to change momentum, and that first turnover is what did that. And then things kept spiraling in our favor, and next thing you know, it's
if Florida State had to drop the name Seminole, what would they rename the school?
There was no question he was going to win the football game. Our guys were extremely confident. I thought played that way in 7.
What up, Kilo?
Yeah, well, watching North Dakota, it's great respect for Bubba Schwager and the work that he's done all the way back from when they hired him to replace me at Duluth as the head coach. And his teams always play exceptionally hard. They never beat themselves. They're going to be fundamentally sound and take great pride in little things. And so, it's going to be a game that we're going to have to play better than what we did at Illinois State. Certainly a weird week, particularly in the fact when you compliment that with the fact that we got back late Saturday night from a road game and we're traveling already tomorrow. North Dakota, and South Dakota, those schools going back all the way through their Division II years and the games that they played against each other. But it's more kind of that this is a valley game, that makes it a huge game.
All right, good morning, everybody. Looking forward to another game on Thursday. Obviously, a good team coming to town. I think they're a defense that plays with a lot of energy and effort, and was very impressed offensively. They have a freshman quarterback that has a lot of skill. He made plays with his feet and was able to make all the throws, and we expect a tough game on Thursday.
Violent now. Be violent. Clear it. There you go. Good. You go. Ready up.
You know, for us, the quick turnaround is physically. You know, it was a real physical game, so we got to try to get our bodies feeling the best we can by Thursday. But the big thing is also emotionally. You know, we really had to get focused yesterday and start with prep day number 1 for USD, and our team has been really pretty good at focusing on preparation and eliminating outside noise up to this point, and that's why I think we've been able to handle some of these low points in games and some of the high points in games, and we still need to get better at all that because we're always looking for improvement. But the real challenge is just physically and emotionally how you're handling this situation. It's very tough. We felt it was going to be very tough. It's really physical, and you know, we know every week is just going to be a real challenge to prepare for the teams because they're well coached and they play a real physical brand of football. So it's really tough, and we've got to be able to, you know, move on one day at a time. And we put day by day in our shirts back in 2014, and boy, if it ever means something, it's right now. We better stay focused one day at a time, and especially now when we came off a real physical game and getting ready for another physical opponent on a short week. And it's what we expected, just really tough, hard-nosed football teams.
Stuff from Marty Mueller, Jeremy Klein, and our Day by Day crew. You can watch new episodes of Day by Day each week just a couple hours prior to kickoff on MidcoSN social media. Stick around when we come back. Val Sussex will join me. We're going to chat about a cool new fundraising initiative for UND Athletics, the Heart for Hawks campaign. More info on that right after this.
This is not just another streaming app.
You might want to hold on to something.
This is a mountain of original, bingeable entertainment. This is chilling, unsettling, and brilliant and bonkers. This is weird and hilarious, stylish and cheeky. This is a joy to watch, a wonder to explore, and a peak TV experience. Live sports, news, and a mountain of entertainment. Paramount Plus, now streaming.
Burger. Butter.
Beautiful.
Bacon.
Barbecue.
Delightful.
Deliciousness.
That's not a word. Sonic Mesquite Butter Bacon Cheeseburger.
Bacon.
Bacon's already been said.
Oh.
Introducing the Land Rover Defender. Just the thing for those little everyday trips. Good in heavy traffic. Perfect for catching up with the relatives. And dropping into the car wash en route. Giving someone a helping hand. Or beating the commute. And putting your feet up after a long day.
Bringing years of professional experience to the classroom, professors at Kaiser U are dedicated to providing career-focused, hands-on training that allows our students to focus on mastering their craft. Our small classes will allow you to build personal connections with your professors. Your educational experience is our priority.
Sports. North Dakota locked in a battle with South Dakota here today. 7-3 our score after 30 minutes of football. Now, normally, when this lady is alongside me, we're talking college hoops, but today, a different conversation today with Val Sussex, who your day job, is the director of the University of North Dakota Athletics Champions Club. And you're here today to talk about a really cool new fundraising initiative that the Champions Club is pushing out.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's fun to be up here for football and not basketball. Alex, we're really excited. We are rolling with a Heart of the Hawks fundraising initiative. We are trying to capitalize on the hours of community service that our student athletes did in the 2019-2020 year. Our student athletes are phenomenal. You see them on the court, you know what they do in the classroom, but we don't always talk about what they do in the community. In that calendar year of 1920, they donated 5,352 hours of their time to help our community, which is an economic impact of about $140,000 in the greater Grand Forks area.
That's incredible. And when you think about how busy these kids are with athletics and academics, the fact that they're giving back to the community at that rate, it's really impressive.
It is. So we had this idea. We thought, hey, let's tell the story. Let's tell all of our fans and supporters how awesome we are, and let's try to use it to drum up some more support for student athlete scholarships. We all know it's been an incredibly hard year. Our Champions Club numbers aren't exactly where we're at because we don't have full capacity in our facilities. So what we're asking people to do is donate $25 for each hour of community service we worked. So if each individual out there listening donated $25, we could get to that 140,000. We could get to those 5,000 hours of community service that we worked. So that's our goal, $25 at a time. Of course, Alex, if someone wants to sponsor 4 hours of community service, that's $100. They can do that. But yeah, we're just asking for $25 and trying to get every hour sponsored.
Yeah, no, it's a lofty goal, of course, but this is taking the place of the Champions Ball, which normally would be a big driver for funds for the athletic department. That's going to get pushed back now to April 2022. So this really is the biggest fundraising push that UND is putting on this year, and really for last year as well, because it's a 2-year deal.
Yeah, this is our annual push. We can't do the Champions Ball. We can't have 800 of our favorite people in a room together socializing. So we're going to push it back a year, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever. But this year we wanted to do something. We wanted to help athletics, but most of all, we wanted to tell the story of student athletes. We have 3 great student athletes that we're featuring throughout the last week and the next week. Ben Tupanom is one of them, and just talking about the community service that they do and why they do it, and their stories are really cool. So check your social media platforms for those videos.
Yeah, really good stuff coming out. Again, be sure to look online at fightinghawks.com for more information on how to give, where to give. March the 16th through the 19th is when the push is going, but folks can give before that. Val, thanks again for your time. Best of luck telling these stories and raising funds for UND scholarships.
Sounds good. Thank you for having me.
Val Sussex, she's the best. Stick around. Ryan Kosowski is going to take Val's spot in just a bit. We're going to break down the opening 30 minutes of this football game after this.
This is not just another streaming app.
You might want to hold on to something.
This is a mountain of original, bingeable entertainment. This is chilling, unsettling, and brilliantly bonkers. This is weird and hilarious, stylish and cheeky. This is a joy to watch, a wonder to explore, and a peak TV experience. Live sports, news, and a mountain of entertainment. Paramount Plus, now streaming.
Do you taste that mesquite butter?
Mm.
And add all the fixings. Bacon, lettuce, grilled onions.
Pickles.
With the barbecue sauce?
Mm. Sonic Mesquite Butter Bacon Cheeseburger.
That's what I'm talking about.
Introducing the Land Rover Defender. Just the thing for those little everyday trips. Good in heavy traffic. Perfect for catching up with the relatives. And dropping into the car wash en route. Giving someone a helping hand. Or beating the commute. And putting your feet up after a long day.
Bringing years of professional experience to the classroom, professors at Kaiser U are dedicated to providing career-focused, hands-on training that allows our students to focus on mastering their craft. Our small classes will allow you to build personal connections with your professors.
Number 4, North Dakota. Number 20, South Dakota. Locked in a battle here. We expected a good game. We've certainly got one here tonight. Just a 4-point edge for UND over their friends from Vermilion. Ryan Kosowski, Alex Seinert here with you. I mean, a competitive opening 30 minutes. Really, the turnovers, a big part of that story. Both defenses really bowing their backs today.
I think that's what it comes down to. I think if you're North Dakota, the yards are there. That hasn't been the issue. It's been the turnovers, not finishing those drives. That's really been the story of the first half.
Let's take a look now at the Avera Orthopedics first half highlights. South Dakota, a good drive to get down inside the 6-yard line. UND's defense forces Mason Lorber to knock down a field goal. Next drive, great answer for North Dakota, but again, turnovers the issue.
Yeah, Otis got away with one last week, not so much this week. South Dakota able to pounce on that one, and again, this was a big play right here, though. Good answer play by North Dakota.
Quincy Vaughn, the freshman, able to hook up with freshman tight end Adam Zavalny, the only touchdown we saw in the first half. That made it 7-3. Yotes had a couple of good drives, get into North Dakota territory on a couple of occasions. 2 big sacks, though, keeping the Yotes off the scoreboard. And then, this is a huge play in the game as well. Interception by Mogensen right at the end of the half.
It was, and we've talked so much about Tommy not turning the ball over and forcing balls, and right there was just a forced football by Schuster.
Numbers-wise, as you said, North Dakota a plus in terms of total yards, plus 86 in that category. They're averaging 5 yards a run. They've got the advantage in time of possession. Hanging on to the football, though, you know that's going to be a point of emphasis for both of these teams moving into half number 2.
This is not just another streaming app.
You might want to hold on to something.
This is a mountain of original, bingeable entertainment. This is chilling, unsettling, and brilliant and bonkers. This is weird and hilarious, stylish and cheeky. This is a joy to watch, a wonder to explore, and a peak TV experience. Live sports, news, and a mountain of entertainment. Paramount Plus, now streaming.
I think every other burger should have a disclaimer. I'm not made with butter. That's what they should say right on the top of it. I'm not made with butter.
They should. They need to warn people.
Sonic Mesquite Butter Bacon Cheeseburger.
You gotta have butter.
Introducing the Land Rover Defender. Just the thing for those little everyday trips. Good in heavy traffic. Perfect for catching up with the relatives. And dropping into the car wash en route. Giving someone a helping hand. Or beating the commute. And putting your feet up after a long day.
Bringing years of professional experience to the classroom, professors at Kaiser U are dedicated to providing career-focused, hands-on training that allows our students to focus on mastering their craft. Our small classes will allow you to build personal connections with your professors.
That's a great sign, if you don't have it already, to get hooked up with Midco Sports Plus. The best of regional sports at your fingertips, all courtesy of MidcoSN.com. Again, if you love UND football, USD football, Summit League basketball, and great coverage throughout the spring of the Missouri Valley, again, MidcoSN.com/streaming, the place to go to get Midco Sports Plus. Subscribe today, the best of MidcoSN at your fingertips. North Dakota football to open up the second half. They lead 7-3. I think both teams probably a little unsatisfied going into the locker room of where they're at right now, but basically level playing field here as we get started to open this second half.
It really is, and we've seen the past couple weeks here, the adjustments North Dakota has made. It'll be interesting to see what kind of adjustments both teams make coming out in the second half.
Thomas Schuster in the offense will take over at the 25-yard line. Second halves have been good to UND early on in this season. I said they trailed. They actually were up 16-14 in that game against Illinois State at the break, and then trailed 14-7 against South Dakota State a week ago. They outscored their opponents, though, in those two games, 49-10 in the second half. South Dakota, though, we'll have a word about that. They also had a pretty good second half last week against the Redbirds out in Normal. You see the numbers for Schuster in the first half. That one interception, certainly a throw he would like to have back. Chance right off the bat, though, to erase that memory. We'll start with the toss to Otis Weah. And Otis has a huge hole down the sideline. Weah knocked down just shy of the 30. A big gain to open up the third quarter for the Sun-Bowl.
Toss play on the outside. Nate Nguyen does a great job. Gets a block here. You're going to see on your screen 66 coming around right there. Gets that block that sparks that run. That's a terrific job by an offensive lineman pulling all the way around and getting the block to spark that play.
Weah was held to just 33 yards in the first half. He picks up 45 on the opening carry of the second. UND right back in Yotes territory. Longest run of the season for Weah. Here's Belquist now on the reverse. Good blocking in front. Sonny Ventrelli leading the way. Another solid open field tackle, though. Mogensen able to slow down the freshman. Miles Harden able to make the stop. Not before Belquist, though, got out to the 21. Gain of 9 to play.
Reverse, trying to get South Dakota going one way, coming around the other. Belquist has the speed. Get on the outside, 9-yard gain. Another east and west play, trying to get that South Dakota defense going the other way.
Dalton Gee now on the carry. He's got the first down to the 19. Gee and Ventrelli, by the way, out in front. It looked like numbers were in North Dakota's favor, but nice work again. Mogensen able to get around and keep that from being an even bigger gain on the previous play. Fighting Hawks, though, back inside the red zone. This is their second trip inside the 20 of the day. Remember, that touchdown was just beyond it. 0 for 1 today in those red zone attempts. This was a North Dakota team that was outstanding in the red zone a season ago and had been nearly perfect to start the 2019 campaign, or the 2021 campaign, excuse me. Schuster slinging one to the end zone. Cochran, the intended target. Harden was there in coverage.
Harden was all over Cochran. There was nowhere for that ball to go. Good coverage once again. And North Dakota always talks about how important it is to come away with touchdowns in these kind of situations and not settle for field goals or turn the ball over. When you get down here, you've got to capitalize, and they take a lot of pride in that. And you're going against a tough South Dakota defense who prides themselves on getting stops when they're in that area as well.
Weah on the carry. Another big hole. Otis Weah breaking through and into the end zone for the touchdown. The sophomore tailback from 18 yards out. Third game in a row that North Dakota opens up the second half with a score.
Good vision by Otis, too, to decide to cut back with that and go the opposite direction. Breaks the first tackle, breaks the second, charges his way in for the touch. You can see right there, he's good vision. Hey, I got to cut back on this. I got a blocker on the outside. And then Otis does the rest for the touchdown.
He did the heavy lifting on this drive, that 45-yard carry on the first play of the drive as Adam Stage's extra point is up and through. Weah now 7 carries, 96 yards, and that touchdown making amends for the earlier fumble by the goal line. Biggest lead of the day for the number 4 team in the land, up 14-3.
This is not just another streaming app.
You might want to hold on to something.
This is a mountain of original, bingeable entertainment. This is chilling, unsettling, and brilliantly bonkers. This is weird. This is a joy to watch, a wonder to explore, and a peak TV experience. Live sports, news, and a mountain of entertainment. Paramount Plus, now streaming.
Burger. Butter.
Beautiful.
Bacon.
Barbecue.
Delightful.
Deliciousness.
That's not a word. Sonic Mesquite Butter Bacon Cheeseburger.
Bacon.
Bacon's already been fed.
Introducing the Land Rover Defender. Just the thing for those little everyday trips. Good in heavy traffic. Perfect for catching up with the relatives. And dropping into the car wash en route. Giving someone a helping hand. Or beating the commute. And putting your feet up after a long day.
Bringing years of professional experience to the classroom, professors at Kaiser U are dedicated to providing career-focused, hands-on training that allows our students to focus on mastering their craft. Our small classes will allow you to build personal connections with your professors. Your educational...
What can you say about Otis Weah, the redshirt sophomore from Moorhead? Those numbers you see were entering this game. He's already added 96 yards to his season total and a touchdown as well.
And he's just turning into that back where every time he touches the ball, you expect a spectacular player, him to do something that's just unbelievable. And every time he touches it, it seems like those kind of plays happen for him. That's a credit to him and the type of athlete he is.
Weah, who was special as a freshman a couple of seasons ago, had to sit out last year because of academics, stuck with the program, kept working hard in the offseason. His coaching staff has just raved about the kind of young man that he is. Great teammate, hard worker. All that effort has really paid off early on this season, and his runs, again, the 45-yard gainer and that 18-yard touchdown plunge, have his team now up by 11.
And the team stuck with him, too. You know, I think that's a big thing, that the team believes in him and stayed with him through that whole year. Didn't just say, hey, you know what, you're done. They stuck with him as well. And I think that built that strong relationship.
Carson Camp now, his turn to try and find pay dirt for the first time today. See the number for the true freshman from Bloomington, Illinois. He's looked dangerous. This Yote offense has been on the move a couple of times today. They've had drives stall around midfield on several occasions. Mason Milber's 20-yard field goal, the only scoring today for South Dakota. The ground game was certainly working at the end of the half, but Kai Henry, who, by the way, just eclipsed the 2,000 career yard mark on the ground with his 53-yard carry, 53 yards in the first half, unable to find much space on first down, a loss of 3 back to the 25.
Good gap sound defense right there. Noah Larson saw that open up. He went right back there. Just a good linebacker play, seeing the run develop, getting in the backfield for the loss.
Blitz coming. Yotes pick it up. No place to go, though, for Camp, and Jackson Turner makes the tackle. A loss back to the 24-yard line. If it's deemed a sack, it will be the 3rd of the day for North Dakota.
Just that same pressure. And, you know, Coach Nielsen talked about it this week, too, that with North Dakota, you just don't know where it's coming. They might line up one way, but you don't know where that pressure is going to come from, as opposed to Illinois State was more of a, this is what we do, we're going to 4-3. North Dakota, you have no idea where that pressure is coming from. That's extremely hard to prepare for.
Pressure again, and Camp is going to get dropped inside the 20. Turner back-to-back sacks for the senior captain. He had the big strip sack a week ago on South Dakota State freshman quarterback Mark Gronowski. 2 plays in a row, he takes down the Yote freshman QB.
Jackson Turner's really hard to block, especially in a one-on-one situation like that. You've got to have a running back chip or help out, especially with the sack he just had. Jackson Turner is like a D-back playing outside linebacker. This defense is built on speed. Really hard to block those guys on the outside.
Scutz able to put his leg into this one. It'll be fair caught by Greibel at the 35-yard line. 11:08 left in the 3rd. Another good punts from the preseason All-American, senior from MOC Floyd Valley High School out in Orange City. Tommy Schuster will start his second offensive possession of the second half at the 35-yard line.
You saw North Dakota come out second half, run a lot of perimeter plays, getting the ball to the outside. See, that was a point of emphasis coming out of half here, is getting that defense moving.
The fake to Belquist. Schuster looking downfields. Dumped that ball off to Luke Skokna. A short gain on the play.
Not a lot of room right there. Good decision. They'll get the ball to Skokna. Let him use his speed. Good job by the Coyote defense getting there.
This USD secondary has done a great job. A lot of those big plays. I know Mog had a big one earlier in the game, but he's been blanketed a lot here in this contest, especially on those deep post routes.
Well, just really athletic in the secondary, too. I think that's the one thing that stands out is just how athletic those guys are on the back end.
Skokna. Ventrelli again out in front. Not even Ventrelli, by the way, the 6'4", 295-pound redshirt sophomore from St. Paul. He's at right tackle. Played a little center when he first came in. He played everywhere in high school, and they just think he's a guy that has a ton of upside because of his athleticism. And he's really growing into his body as well.
And they have to be. They have to be able to move. They have to be able to get to the outside because of plays like that North Dakota wants to run. But to have a guy that's able to move around and be able to go to different positions if you need, those guys are really hard to find.
Third down in shorts. Weah again able to spin away through first contact, and he's loose again. Weah inside the 30, and finally knocked out right at the 20-yard line. Otis Weah, how about 37 yards on that carry? He's over 100 for the first time in his UND career.
Just the same type of play, a play that looks like is going to go nowhere and there's no room. He's able to spin off. 37-yard gain on a simple just zone play. Otis able to make something special happen once again.
8 carries, 133 yards, and a touchdown for Weah today. He's been one of the stars in this North Dakota campaign, continuing to build on that fan favorite status early. Skokna now spells him. Met right at the line of scrimmage. Good penetration again. Brock Mogensen, who's been all around the football for the second week in a row, in on the tackle.
Great penetration is exactly right. UND trying to stretch it out again. South Dakota able to get in the backfield. Nowhere for that play to go.
Two tight ends set here for Schuster on 2nd and 10. They set the screen up. Skokna has a block in front. He's inside the 10-yard line, able to spin inside the 5. Another well-designed misdirection play by Danny Floyd in this offense, and it's 1st and goal.
And you can't stress enough how important it is for Skopna to wait for these blocks. He cuts back in here. He sees his blockers, cuts inside of them, makes sure they get the blocks. This goes back to those running backs feeding off each other, wanting to outdo the other one. And back-to-back really good plays by UND.
How about big number 62, Ryan Tobin, the 4-year starter at left guard out of Wisconsin. Gave it away on the left side this time. 1st and goal now from the 4. Watch for something here. Gee takes the handoff. Cochran looking to throw, and he's going to be stopped at the 5-yard line, a loss of 1. The Coyotes ready that time. Jakari Starling, one of the speed linebackers on this team, in on the tackle with Jacob Matthew.
Had the feel of a Philly special there is what it almost looked like. With Schuster going down there, pretending to check his wristband. And he was going out for a pass on that one.
My mother is from Boston, Massachusetts, and we grew up Patriots fans, so not great memories
Well, I
there
had to
that
throw
you're
that
bringing
one
up,
in
but
there
you
then.
were right. That was what that play looked like. Nick Foles, I tell you. Anyway, 2nd down and goal here from the 5-yard line. Weah on the carry, in there for the score! Otis Weah and this Fighting Hawks offense coming to life here in the 3rd quarter once again.
Well, if you're ever in doubt, give it to 26. He's just able to do unbelievable things. Great play here. Gets a great block, jumps in the end zone. Another touchdown for Otis Weah. That whole drive, that offensive line did an absolutely terrific job getting out in space, getting on blockers, doing everything they needed to do to make that a successful possession for the Fighting Hawks.
Stage on for the extra points. And it is up and through. The 3rd quarter, once again, pivotal for this North Dakota team. Otis Weah and this offensive line leading the charge. 21-3, number 4 on top.
This is not just another streaming app.
You might want to hold on to something.
This is a mountain of original, bingeable entertainment. This is chilling.
Hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button. I will be live for 2 games on Saturday. Hit that like button.
And cheeky. This is a joy to watch, a wonder to explore, and a peak TV experience. Live sports, news, and a mountain of entertainment. Paramount Plus, now streaming.
Do you taste that mesquite butter? And add all the fixings. Bacon, lettuce, grilled onions.
Pickles.
With the barbecue sauce?
Sonic mesquite butter bacon cheeseburger.
That's what I'm talking about.
Behind the Ed Morse name is a story of a man with a vision. And as we celebrate what would have been my grandfather's 100th birthday, we celebrate a legacy that lives on. Ed Morse presents 75 years of excellence.
Bringing years of professional experience to the classroom, professors at Kaiser U are dedicated to providing career-focused, hands-on training that allows our students to focus on mastering their craft. Our small classes will allow you to build personal connections with your professors. Your educational experience is our priority. We offer career-focused majors taught by industry professionals in a personalized setting, affording you a learning environment that is both dynamic and interactive.
Time for our Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine injury reports. The man in the hoodie is Brock Bolton, North Dakota junior / player, I guess, quarterback, receiver, running back. He scored in every which way a season ago. He's missing his 3rd consecutive game, and it's a lower body injury that he suffered in the final week of practice before the opener against Southern Illinois. How good is this offense going to be when he gets healthy again, Ryan Kosowski?
Yeah, he adds a completely different element to the offense. He's able to do, like you said, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, do a lot of things for UND. You know, Quincy Vaughn has stepped into that role a little bit. Some other guys have tried to fill that role, but he gives UND just another element to this already dangerous offense.
North Dakota's rushing attack has looked pretty good today. 207 total yards now for this Fighting Hawk ground game. 121 of that coming in the opening 2 possessions of the second half. You see the numbers on that particular drive that was capped off, by the way, a 5-yard touchdown run. Second score of the day for Weah. He's got 5 rushing scores on the season. In this offensive line, opening up the space. Danny Freund's calling the right plays, and number 26 just running through the holes and bouncing off guys and doing a lot of things himself.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to, is everybody doing their job. And can't say enough about that offensive line and the possessions they've had so far in this second half of really making sure this offense keeps going.
Fighting Hawks rushing for over 8 yards a carry here today. And now Carson Camp and this offense really need a response. We've seen this Yote team, again, come back from large deficits, certainly last week and in recent seasons, especially in this rivalry, by the way. Again, both of these teams have come back when they've been down.
And neither team is comfortable right now, I'll tell you that much. Both these teams know how powerful the other team is and how quick they can strike.
2 quick passes, both completed. One to Caleb Van Der Esch on the USD side, one down to Carter Bell on the North Dakota end of the field. Bell got a little shaken up on the play, and he's going to have to make the long walk through the USD sideline. Brings up a 3rd down and 1. South Dakota's really struggled on 3rd down today, just 1 for 8 in these situations.
This just feels like a really important 3rd down, too. If South Dakota's able to get this, keep their offense on the field, if you go 3-0 once again, it's going to be tough for your defense to go right back on the field.
Kai Henry gets the handoff, and he's got the 1st down, able to slip through the tackle of Shanowski in the backfields. Henry, who perhaps has been the lone bright spot for this Coyote offense today, able to keep the legs churning out to the 41-yard line. A gain of 7 on 3rd and short, as you see Bell being attended to on the sideline.
Looked like Shanowski was going to be able to come down the line there and get Henry too talented, able to bounce that to the outside, pick up a much-needed 1st down for South Dakota.
We go back to the senior from Miami, preseason 1st team All-Valley out to the 48-yard line. Henry, who scored a couple of touchdowns in his previous meeting with the University of North Dakota. He's got to get his shoe back on now as he comes off the field. Carter Bell going back to the locker room for further evaluation. And the redshirt freshman receiver who's having a big day. 3 receptions for 57 yards. He's been Camp's favorite target. 2nd down and 3. Camp, the toss play. This is Tice, who's got the 1st down. Ty Shannon able to hog tie him in front of that UND bench.
Good option call right there, knowing you only need to be able to pick up 3 yards for a 1st down. The quarterback can keep that if need be, or you pitch to Tice like they did right there.
Brett Alenka, North Dakota's defensive coordinator, said that even though they obviously haven't had a ton of time to prepare for this particular game from last week, they spent a lot of time in the fall getting ready for South Dakota because they knew the turnaround time would be so quick. And he mentioned even though they were watching 2019 film, Ted Schlafsky's now in his 3rd season as the offensive coordinator. The scheme hasn't changed too much. What this Coyote quarterback does, though, is a little bit different. Simmons was much more of a run-first quarterback. They ran a lot of stuff with his legs. Camp, a little more improvisation.
Yeah, I think like you said, from a coaching standpoint, you're always finding to see if you can find something on film, things like that. Different kind of quarterback here, but they know Coach Lefke. They know him from going to Minnesota Duluth. They know what kind of offense he wants to run. Might be able to pick up a couple things even from last year's film, especially when that season schedule came out.
A lot more read plays on this particular drive than we've seen all game. The Coyotes getting the job done on the ground, down to the 35-yard line. Travis Tice once again bottled up this time after a couple of successful runs back-to-back by the redshirt freshman running back. Only a gain of 1.
Shanowski coming up in the run. Great read right there. You're exactly right. This is one where you're letting your quarterback make the decision. Do I want to keep this or do I want to give this football? And kind of figuring out what kind of defense North Dakota's in and just reading from there.
2nd and 9. Tice with the grab. The power forward to the 31-yard line. Travis Tice was the Kansas High School Offensive Player of the Year as a senior. Went to Pratt High School, small town just west of Wichita. Career numbers down there, just unheard of. 6,700 yards on the ground, 101 touchdowns. He was a quarterback for a couple of seasons and a running back for a couple of others. Just did whatever that team needed him to do. Was not highly recruited, at least at the D1 level, until late, and certainly found a home down in Vermilion. Ty Henry on the carry on 3rd down and long, and North Dakota keeps coming and keeps coming. There is a flag on the play at the 30-yard line. Well short of the first down was Henry, but we'll see what the infraction is about. Looks like it's going against the Yotes offense here.
Holding, offense number 66. Penalties decline, result in a 4th down.
You could see on that play right there, though, why Kai Henry's so special. Bounced off about 4 guys right there. And by the time he was out of bounds, he was still upright. So another one of those running backs that's really, really difficult to bring down.
Good call here. North Dakota declines the penalty. Would have set up 3rd and 15. Instead, it'll be 4th and 5. The Yote offense staying on the field. Camp with the blitz coming. Gets the screen away. Henry's got it. He's got to get to the 25, though, for the first, and he is not going to get there. Great pursuit to the football. Good idea by Schlafke in the offense, and now Camp writhing back near midfield. Carson Camp being attended to. We'll step away here with 3:29 left in the 3rd. Big stop by the Fighting Hawks defense a moment ago.
This is not just another streaming app.
You might want to hold on to something.
This is a mountain of original, bingeable entertainment. This is chilling, unsettling, and brilliant and bonkers. This is weird and hilarious, stylish and cheeky. This is a joy to watch, a wonder to explore, and a peak TV experience. Live sports, news, and a mountain of entertainment. Paramount Plus, now streaming.
Like, look at that big piece of cookie dough right there. Like, it wouldn't be the same if it was just the little chunks.
It's just waiting like this. I'm ready.
Eat me.
Eat me.
Oreo, Big Scoop, Cookie Dough Blast, and Sundae. Eat me, eat me.
Introducing the Land Rover Defender. Just the thing for those little everyday trips. Good in heavy traffic. Perfect for catching up with the relatives. And dropping into the car wash en route. Giving someone a helping hand. Or beating the commute. And putting your feet up after a long day.
Next time on Panthers Uncaged.
You get the A on your jersey right away. That means they respect me and I respect them, and they have a big expectation going forward for me, and I have high expectation on myself too.
This game on Midcoast Sports Network is presented by Farmers Union Insurance. Simply different.
Big moment in this football game right before the commercial break. Carson Camp on a 4th down and 5. Taking a big hit here on the all-out blitz. He came up, Ryan, favoring his left leg. I didn't see much in that sequence to indicate what the injury would be, but again, he was helped off and didn't put any weight on his left leg as he made his way to the sidelines.
No, he certainly didn't, and it was the right call by USD, too. They set that screen up. North Dakota brought pressure. But I think North Dakota knew screen, too, and Jackson Turner was almost out there just waiting for that guy to get open. And just another pressure play by UND's defense.
Turner's big day continues. The senior outside linebacker has a couple of sacks now. That big 4th down stop. Marcus Preston as well, active in the passing game again today. Preston had 4 grabs a week ago. He's got 3 now on the afternoon, a gain of 9. Gives him 24 yards so far this evening. Sets up a 2nd and 1. It almost feels like this is a must-stop if you're the Coyotes to stay in this game.
It does. It has that feel, and the last thing you want if you're USD is for North Dakota to march this ball down the field, take away more clock, and score again. But this is exactly what UND wants to do. They're just getting that push up front. There's just a lot of room for those running backs, and USD is not getting any penetration in the back.
There's just a wave of black jerseys pushing that front. 3-4 yards downfield. Skopin's not even getting touched on that particular play until he's well beyond the 1st down marker.
And that's the kind of offense UND wants to be, too. They want to be able to just grind teams down and run the football and really pride themselves. And that group right there is the reason for that. And if you don't have a big, strong offensive line that can move around like these guys can, you're just not able to run that kind of offense.
First and 10, play action for Schuster. He's going deep for Mogg. Overthrows him, and it's nearly picked off. Miles Harden, again, around the football. It would have been the third turnover forced on the day by this Coyote defense.
Just another ball that sails on Tommy. He's got Mogg here. This is a completion, but he just overthrows this. And Mogg almost turns into a defender at the last second there and gets a hand on the ball. Make sure South Dakota doesn't have another turnover.
Would have been Harden's third pick of the season. True freshman from Miami Gardens, Florida. Instead, it falls incomplete. 2nd and 10. Belquist out on the edge. Into South Dakota territory, and he's got room in front. No, they're going to say he stepped out right in midfield. Back up a little bit. Just for a moment, it looked like the former New Rockford Cheyenne Comet was going to the house, but it'll bring up a 3rd down and 2 instead.
That was close, too. It really was. We'll see here if he was out, but man, this is a terrific play. Once again, you got Paulson out there getting the block.
Right there.
Yep, right there. Good call by the official. Good perimeter blocking by North Dakota once again. And Bo just about kept that in bounds for what would have been a North Dakota touchdown.
Nice work by our replay crew. Avery McDonald's running replay today. Our camera guys as well. Bob Carey, Jake Tracy. Joe Hetzel down on the field getting me that look. So instead of 6, it results in a 3rd and short. And North Dakota is unable to convert. Wyatt tried his best that time, but for no gain, and it's a big stop instead by this Coyote defense.
And for how much they've been on the field, too, USD, that's a great stop by those guys. Get the ball back to your offense. And close, still a game that South Dakota has confidence. They've got to make sure that this next offensive possession, they get some things rolling.
Kate Peterson on. High spiraling kick, a fair catch called for, but it's going to sail over the head. Great backspin, however, on the punt by Peterson. Fielded at the 5-yard line. These two punters dueling here this afternoon when given the opportunity. Second one pinned inside the 20 for Peterson today. Let's flash back once again, back to 2011, the last time these two teams played as conference rivals. You remember this game a little bit, right?
Yeah, 20-point fourth quarter. I tell you what, that game, I think for everybody that's a North Dakota fan will remember that forever. And as a South Dakota fan, South Dakota was ahead in that game, looked like it was in complete control, and North Dakota came back to win that game, and this place went absolutely nuts.
USD led 37-17 in that game. Entering the fourth, Dante Warren had 4 second-quarter touchdowns. Brent Gaska, though, leading the fight. Oh, they're fighting Sioux at that time back. 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, including that game winner that you saw a moment ago to Chris Anderson with 4 minutes left. As you said, that was the final game for UND and for South Dakota for that matter before moving on to the Valley and the Big Sky. No Carson Camp here, who's still on the sidelines. Jacob Parks now will be taking snaps. A completion for 6 out to Caleb Van Der Esch on first down. And now Tice takes the toss here, and he's got a first out to the 18-yard line. The book on Parks, by the way, 6'3", 210, a redshirt junior out of Clearwater, Florida. Had 1 rushing attempt last week against Illinois State, lost 8 yards in his lone action here in 2021. Played in a couple of games in 2019. Former beach volleyball standout from down in Florida. It's his offense right now. This pass intended for Tice, sailed to bits.
You saw the option play right away, just trying to get him in a rhythm. Easy throws like that. I'm not able to complete it, but you want to have those short passes. Try and get him a little bit of confidence here. Tough when you come into a game, especially this late in the game. Get yourself warmed up, get yourself ready to go, and get you ready for game speed.
It's a good sign to see Camp again on the sidelines with his helmet on. We might not have seen the last of the freshman today. It is the junior, though. Parks in the shotgun. And off to Tice. He's able to knife inside across the 20 out to the 22-yard line. Tice 10 carries a week ago for 34 yards, a couple of grabs out of the backfield as well. This pickup of 4 makes this a 3rd down and 6. It's a Coyote offense that has been stymied all day, and they're going to have to get the job done in the fourth quarter here. Back-to-back touchdowns for this UND offense, able to open up an 18-point advantage over number 20 South Dakota through 3 here at the Alaris Center. Otis Way of the story, this Fighting Hawk ground game, piling up the yards and the points. 15 minutes to go, though, for the Coyotes to fight their way back. Stick around for the conclusion of this one from the Alaris.
This is not just another streaming app.
You might want to hold on to something.
This is a mountain of original, bingeable entertainment. This is chilling, unsettling, and brilliantly bonkers. This is weird and hilarious, stylish and cheeky. This is a...
Hit that like button. Subscribe. I will be live this Saturday for 2 games. And don't mind the subscribe button in the middle. That's just to make sure the streams stay alive and they don't, end the stream because of copyright.
Keep $6 in. Arby's fish sandwiches are now 2 for $6 and part of Arby's everyday value. Arby's, we have the meat.
Ed Morse presents 75 years in the making.
From our start in 1946, Ed Morse has had your back when you needed it most. And now we continue 75 years later with our price protection promise. Remember, you're always backed by Morse.
Bringing years of professional experience to the classroom, professors at Kaiser U are dedicated to providing career-focused, hands-on training that allows our students to focus on mastering their craft. Our small classes will allow you to build personal connections with your professors. Your educational experience is our priority. We offer career-focused majors taught by industry professionals in a personalized setting, affording you a learning environment that is both dynamic and interactive.
What you guys think it's going to take for South Dakota to get back in this game?
Unanswered for the Fighting Hawks against South Dakota over the last 2 quarters. And they have established an 18-point advantage. Number 4 UND looking to improve to 3-0 for the first time since 2008, their first year at the Division I level. They're trying to hang their first loss of the season on the team from Vermilion. South Dakota 2 for 10 on 3rd down today. They are faced with a 3rd down and 6, and they do have their starting quarterback now back on the field. Good to see number 18, Carson Camp, returning after being knocked out 2 possessions ago. Camp to throw for it. He's got his man, and that's caught by Van Der Esch. Right at the sticks, enough for the first down marker for Caleb Van Der Esch.
A good play design right there. Get the inside receiver going on a slant route, takes that outside linebacker away with him. Opens up enough just for the first down there.
Gain of 7 for Van Der Esch, his 6th catch of the day. Travis Tice able to bully his way all the way out to the 40, nearly a gain of 11. Back-to-back first downs for this Coyote offense. It's got to be a big boost getting your starter back out there here to start the 4th quarter.
Absolutely, and it opens your playbook back up, and it gives you confidence offensively that, hey, we're back on track. We can do everything we want to do. And right now, you're seeing South Dakota get 8-9 yards on the ground, and it's just something North Dakota cannot allow happen.
Another big run by Tice. He's over 50 yards now for the game. This Coyote rushing attack now eclipsing that 100-yard mark. And whistles here, the right side of that offensive line moved a little bit early.
False start. Offense number 78. 5-yard penalty, second down.
It's Austin Wallace, the right tackle, moving early. Just the third penalty of the game for either side. North Dakota yet to be penalized today. Just 3 on South Dakota for 29 yards.
Been an extremely clean game, and those ones are frustrating right there because you've got a good rhythm offensively, and you kind of back yourself up.
That's a credit to the preparation of both of these teams on a short week to play this clean.
Oh, and they harp on that too in practice. Hey, we can't have these kind of penalties. We can't shoot ourselves in the foot. And to have 3 penalties, I mean, that's really impressive for both these football teams as we're in the fourth quarter already.
It's very early, of course, in the Valley season, but UND is 1 in terms of least penalty yards per game in the Valley. South Dakota's number 2. 2nd and 7 now. Camp able to fit one in, caught by Van Der Esch into North Dakota territory. The zone look by UND's defense not fooling the freshman quarterback that time.
Van Der Esch, good route right there, just a comeback route, right at the sticks to get that first down. It's in that window right over Jackson Turner. Good thrown, or well-thrown ball right there.
Screenplay to Travis Tice. Great block on the edge. He's got the first down and more. Caden White able to trip up the redshirt freshman tailback, but not before he got all the way out to the 33-yard line.
Great perimeter blocking again on this play. And for these plays to have success, you've got to get out there and get blocks. Awesome job right there by the Coyotes.
Wesley Elidor, the sophomore receiver who had a couple of catches early and has been quiet since, making that seal block on the edge. Pick up a 15 to Tice. Camp to the air again. Elidor made a nice play in the run game, now making the grab here up to the 26-yard line.
Tunnel screen to Elidor. Good rhythm so far on this drive. You can see South Dakota's got some confidence here, getting the ball out quick, getting to the receivers, picking up big yards. North Dakota doing a complete line change here for their defensive line and get some fresh bodies out there.
That was a big point of emphasis for Brett Helenka and this staff to keep that unit fresh. 2nd down, the toss play to Henry. They cut it up to the 21, enough for the first. This drive started way back on the South Dakota 6-yard line. It's taken them 11 plays, but they have marched over 70 yards now and are knocking on the door just outside the red zone with a fresh set of downs. Bob Nielsen's team showing there is plenty of fight left in this group.
What you've seen when South Dakota's gotten into that 2nd and short, 3rd and short, they've run to that option play, just kind of giving their quarterback the opportunity to either tuck that thing or pitch it. That's how they've been able to get these first downs.
Camp to throw. Has his man, that's McQuitty. Good short tackle in space by Ty Shannon. Help came quickly. Gain of 6 out to the 15.
That's where it's nice to have a former secondary guy be able to come up and play those kind of positions. Good open field tackle right there. And you've got other Fighting Hawks just coming in and pursuing the ball.
2nd and 4 for Camp. Henry on the read play. Dragged down from behind by Ray Haas, but not before the senior running back got within a yard of the first down marker.
An up front push by South Dakota this entire drive. Have really gotten on those North Dakota defensive linemen and been able to move them and get this running game going.
Henry again, he's got the first down. Haas able to stand him up, but not before the damage was done. Really impressive drive by the South Dakota offense. 1st and goal as Bubba Schweigert looks on. Henry, another run up the middle. Stretching, and he's in for the touchdown. Kai Henry from 7 yards out. First touchdown of the day for the Coyotes.
And just up tempo. South Dakota got right on the line, ran their play. North Dakota's defense just got pushed back. Kai Henry does the rest for a South Dakota touchdown. That entire drive just had great rhythm and great flow to it. That's exactly what they wanted.
Officially 15 plays, 95 yards. They say they started on the 5 instead of the 6. Lorber on to make this an 11-point game. And the kick is up and through. South Dakota right back in this contest. Still down by 2 scores, but a great drive have the Yotes within touching distance with 10:58 to go.
This is not just another streaming app.
You might want to hold on to something.
This is a mountain of original, bingeable entertainment. This is chilling, unsettling, and brilliantly bonkers. This is weird and hilarious, stylish and cheeky. This is a joy to watch, a wonder to explore, and a peak TV experience. Live sports, news, and a mountain of entertainment. Paramount Plus, now streaming.
Introducing the Land Rover Defender. Just the thing for those little everyday trips. Good in heavy traffic. Perfect for catching up with the relatives. And dropping into the car wash en route. Giving someone a helping hand. Or beating the commute. And putting your feet up after a long day.
I just used Taco Bell's app to build my own $5 cravings box. It's got a crunchy taco, chalupa.
Obviously, you'd start with the beefy 5-layer burrito.
Easy 5-layer? Nah, man. More like a bean burrito.
Huge, but
It's all about the cheesy gordita crust!
Eat like you and build your own $5 cravings box. Only online or with the Taco Bell app.
Protecting what's important in life.
This game on Midco Sports Network is presented by Farmers Union Insurance and Home of Economy.
It would not be North Dakota, South Dakota if there wasn't a little drama involved. USD able to fight their way back with a touchdown drive that spanned nearly the length of the fields. Carson Camp able to come back on after getting shaken up on the Yotes' last offensive possession. A lot of the work done on the ground. Kai Henry and Travis Tice firing away up the middle. A lot of short passes as well that connected. And 15 plays, 95 yards later, we got an 11-point contest. Short kickoff this time. Skokna will take it on the run. South Dakota's kick coverage has been awfully good today. We've seen Skokna return a couple this young season out to the 50. Not much room there as Tommy Schuster and the offense will take over just beyond the 25. How important of a drive for this South Dakota team. Maybe if it doesn't come up and result in a victory today, for the sake of their season, to have that kind of confidence, know you've got that in you. Pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, you start on the 5-yard line, able to march it down. And again, 5 minutes is all that took. They were able to go up tempo, get on the ball, do what they needed to do. I think when Camp came back out, it was almost like the mojo got back and they had that confidence and that swagger back with them.
Carson Camp now 18 for 28 for 187 through the air. The Yotes, the first team this season to get over 100 rushing yards against North Dakota, up to 130 now on the day. Otis Weah having a pretty good day on the ground himself. Again, able just to keep the legs churning out to the 39-yard line. Pickup of 7 on the play.
He's got about 3 South Dakota players on him too, and 3-yard gain, he turns into 7. This is an important drive for North Dakota. Just has that feel like they got to get something going here and get this clock rolling, pick up some first downs.
And give their defense a bit of a break. You got to think that group is a little bit gassed after back-to-back long possessions for the Yotes.
Absolutely.
North Dakota led 7-3 at the half. A couple of scores to start the third quarter gave them an 18-point cushion. This pass intended for Bo Belquist off the fingertips of the freshman. Lucky for North Dakota, there was not a Coyote safety lurking just behind.
Yeah, when you see that ball get tipped through the receiver's hands, you're exactly right. Looking for that corner that's going to come jump that. And he had Bo there just a little bit too high. Would have been a very important first down for the Fighting Hawks.
South Dakota with 2 turnovers forced today. None yet for UND. After forcing 8 in their first 2 games combined. Coyotes doing a good job of protecting the football and taking it away, but they trail by 11. Big 3rd and 3. Weah the call. Otis Weah, another first down. The push not as great that time from the UND fronts, but sometimes it doesn't matter.
We just keep saying the same thing because it's the truth. I mean, he gets that first contact, but he's just so strong. He just keeps his legs going. He's able to pick up that first down. Contact was made well before the first down, and he's just able to use his strength and power to pick that up.
The former Moorhead Spud needed 3. He got 5. He's up to 150 yards now on the ground today. A couple of touchdowns. Would have had 3, of course, if not for that goal line fumble. It's his football again. Met in the hole. By the way, that is Zavalny Whitcomb, who changed numbers at some point in this contest. We were given notice that he went from 47 to 98. Lucas Becker in there as well, number 99 in the middle.
Well, and you can tell these two teams are kind of getting into it a little bit here too, and it's getting to be that time of the game where you've been grinding on each other the entire game. It's going to be understand right now, this is a huge possession. I think both teams understand that.
Second down and 7 from the 47. Schuster, another tunnel screen. And again, Marcus Preston able to secure the catch, fall forward. Jacob Matthew in on the tackle, but not before the freshman receiver has enough to move the chains.
Tunnel screen once again. Marcus Preston becoming that guy that North Dakota likes to get the ball to. Another very important first down right there. Those are the kind of plays that North Dakota has found success on today. Just getting the ball out in those tunnel screen, letting your big receivers get on the corners, picking up the first down.
Preston, whose older brother is a redshirt freshman quarterback at Kansas. His dad played at Kansas as well. He's North Dakota's leading receiver today in terms of catches with 4. Here's Skokna now on the little flip pass. Able to make the first man miss, but a lot of white jerseys right at the line of scrimmage. Brock Mogensen there. Elijah Reed had the initial penetration that really blew that play up.
Yeah, Elijah Reed came flying up from his safety position. Kind of got that first initial contact. The defense just pursued after that, but he's so good back there as the safety, read and run coming up. See South Dakota right now just trying to sell out to stop the run, make sure North Dakota doesn't get the big yards.
Gain of just 1, 2nd and 9. Under 7:30 to play. Schuster on the play action. Able to find Skokna. He's going to cut it all the way back and will fall down just shy of the 40-yard line. USC read that play very well. North Dakota lucky to pick up anything.
Yeah, they certainly did. Schuster did, was able to dump that ball off, but Skokna trying his best to pick up yards here, but in South Dakota, just a great job pursuing of the football.
Gain of 2 for the sophomore, tripped up there by Ethan Burson. The backup D tackle. 39 yards in the ground for Skokna. 5 catches now and 24 yards through the air. Another third down opportunity for UND. 75% on third down today. Schuster wide open. Derek Paulson. The drive remains alive. First grab of the evening for the senior from Wisconsin.
Just seems like when you need an important play or those tight ends are becoming more and more of an important part of this offense. And they almost lull you to sleep. They block, and then all of a sudden you need a touchdown or a play, and most guys just sneak out. Coach Freund has just a feel of when to call those plays, and right there is a prime example. You're running the ball, you're blocking with those guys, then all of a sudden you sneak them down the middle, you're able to pick up that first down.
Paulson's a guy that has made some big catches on third down this season. Another one here. Clock continues to run. Skokna up the middle. Mogensen able to meet him in the hole. A couple of Coyotes able to come in and help out as Hergel, again, just off your screen, getting mixed up with a Coyote defender.
Here's what I like about these running backs right now. They've got 2 hands on the ball. They are holding that with both hands. They're not going to take a chance. You see South Dakota defenders coming in there trying to rip the ball out. They understand that South Dakota is a turnover team. They can force those at any time, but they're doing a good job. They know the clock's on their side. They've just got to keep the possession, and they're doing a heck of a job of just holding on to that football.
This possession started with 10:51 to go in the quarter. They've taken 5 minutes off the clock as Weah gets stood up right at the line of scrimmage. Big hit again by Mogensen, who has the interception today, leading South Dakota in tackles again this afternoon. Both he and Jack Cochran now with 8 on the afternoon.
Well, he comes up and he lays a hit here too. Good job by Mogensen coming up right underneath Otis Weah. That's a good hit.
That's about what it takes to get Otis down on first contact, to lift him up off the grounds. I keep saying afternoon, by the way. It is 7:30 at night. You're so used to these noon kickoffs, 2 o'clock.
Well, when you're indoors too, it's hard to kind of remember.
3rd down and 10. Schuster. Penalty flag flies. They go out wide to Belquist. Regardless of what happens here, it's going to be a foul, likely against the North Dakota offensive line with 4:31 left to play. Decision time now for Bob Nielsen, though, if they want to accept this penalty and push UND back and take them completely out of field goal range, or decline it and make it 4th down and long after that catch and loss by Belquist. You think they'll decline here?
Personal foul, chop block. Offense number 61, number 26. The penalties declined. The result of the play is a 4th down.
So it would have been a 15-yard penalty against North Dakota, but Bob Nielsen electing not to take it. Bergel and Weah combining for the chop block. So now, out of field goal range at the 33, it would be a 50-yard field goal, which Adam Sage has a good leg, but that's pushing it here in a game like this. They'll send Kate Peterson on to try and pin South Dakota back deep.
And so many things that can go wrong if you do that too, right? A bad snap, a blocked kick. All of a sudden, South Dakota gets more momentum. And
see if the Yotes bring some pressure here. The clock running, just over 4 minutes left, a 2-possession game. The wedge does its job. Peterson is going to send this one into the end zone, however. So USD will take over at the 20-yard line with 3:59 remaining in regulation. Don't go anyplace. South Dakota down by 11, getting the football back.
This is not just another streaming app.
You might want to hold on to something.
This is a mountain of original, bingeable entertainment. This is chilling, unsettling, and brilliant and bonkers. This is weird and hilarious, stylish and cheeky. This is a joy to watch, a wonder to explore, and a peak TV experience. Live sports, news, and a mountain of entertainment. Paramount Plus, now streaming.
Look at that weird filet-o-fish sandwich. Ha, 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 why they make it square? If you want Baker's Arby's crispy fish, 2 for $6, come and get a pair. Arby's, we have the meat.
Ed Morse presents 75 years in the making.
From our start in 1946, Ed Morse has had your back when you needed it most. And now we continue 75 years later with our price protection promise. Remember, you're always backed by Morse.
Bringing years of professional experience to the classroom, professors at Kaiser U are dedicated to providing career-focused, hands-on training that allows our students to focus on mastering their craft. Our small classes will allow you to build personal connections with your professors. Your educational experience is our priority. We offer career-focused majors taught by industry professionals in a personalized setting, affording you a learning environment that is both dynamic and interactive.
Let's go back to 2009, homecoming here in Grand Forks, South Dakota and North Dakota. This was a fun one, Ryan, from back in the day. It was highlighted, by the way, even though the game was potentially out of reach at this point, 8 consecutive stops by the UND defense on a goal-to-go situation by USD after a penalty gave them a fresh set of downs. Just hard-nosed football in the trenches. Kind of the epitome of those UND teams.
Yeah, it certainly was. And we always prided ourselves on, when they get down there, it's bend, don't break, right? Do whatever you need to do to get off the field. And I'll always remember that those 8 stops right there. Great time for our school.
A great chance here for South Dakota to get a big chunk play on first down. Carter Kuchel, though, unable to make the grab. Nice ball by Camp, unable to be collected, though. And the Yotes will go back for 2nd and 10. Joel Swensmeyer, by the way, 8 tackles for loss in that game. And a forced fumble by the current UND safeties coach. Mitch Sutton, 190 yards and 3 touchdowns in that contest, propelling UND to that 27-12 win. Second down and 10 from the 20. Carson Camp trying to lead his team back. The quick out caught by Van Der Esch along the sideline.
Just another quick throw right there, getting the ball out. That's 5 yards. So be able to march this down. Again, the clock is on North Dakota's side, though. They're going to have to take some shots here. I think the important thing right now is try and get that first down. And after that, you got to start getting aggressive.
Third down and 5. Yotes need the 30. Camp. The pitch out. Henry's going no place. Well read by North Dakota. The option play unsuccessful. Shanowski, Shannon, and Larson all there. Fourth down on the way, and the game really on the line here.
And we started talking about that. We kind of noticed that when it was second and short, third and short, South Dakota would go to this option play. I think North Dakota figured that out as well, that, hey, we got to stop option right now. And fourth down right now. If you're North Dakota's defense, I think you stick with what you do and you bring that pressure.
Yotes 0 for 1 on fourth down today. They're going up top. Kennedy's there, and he's got the pick. Jordan Kennedy, the senior safety. His second interception in as many games.
When I talked to Brett Holenka this week, I said, who's somebody that is going to have a game? Who's going to step up? And he said, this offense is meant for Jordan Kennedy. He is going to have a game. And right here comes up with that interception. Such a good playmaker for North Dakota. But I think Coach Holenka knew coming into this that he was going to have a big game, and he tops it off right there.
First takeaway of the day for this UND defense. It's not quite a game clincher yet, but time's certainly not on the Coyotes' side. UND football near midfield, 2:59 to go in regulation. Yotes with 3 timeouts, but it's been a Fighting Hawk offense that has rallied on the ground. 228 yards rushing today. Skokna able to get a chunk here across the 50 into Coyote territory, and Bob Nielsen will take a timeout immediately. That will give us a chance to step away. 2:50 to go in this contest. 21-10, North Dakota football up by 11, trying to salt this one away to improve to 3-0.
This is not just another streaming app.
You might want to hold on to something.
This is a mountain of original, bingeable entertainment. This is chilling, unsettling, and brilliant and bonkers. This is weird and hilarious, stylish and cheeky. This is a joy to watch, a wonder to explore, and a peak TV experience. Live sports, news, and a mountain of entertainment. Paramount Plus, now streaming.
How hard is it to catch a crispy, flaky fish? Depends on how patient you are and what pocket you keep $6 in. Arby's fish sandwiches are now 2 for $6 and part of Arby's everyday value. Arby's, we have the meat.
Introducing the Land Rover Defender. Just the thing for those little everyday trips. Good in heavy traffic. Perfect for catching up with the relatives. And dropping into the car wash en route. Giving someone a helping hand. Or beating the commute. And putting your feet up after a long day.
Look, show up.
That was
roll up,
oh my goodness.
roll up. We're supreme, see what I mean.
Coming up for North Dakota, again, 3 at home to begin the season, now 3 on the road at Western Illinois. After a nice, healthy break, this sort of mini bye with this Thursday game, they'll go to Macomb. The Leathernecks 0-1 on the season. They will play South Dakota State, by the way, live on Midco SN on Saturday. Then a big one, another game live on Midco SN. We'll be down in the Fargo Dome March the 20th against NDSU. One more home game left after this against Missouri State, who is South Dakota's next opponent. The Dakota Dome opener next week for the Yotes. Another game live here on our airwaves as Skokna takes the second down carry across the 45. He's going to be about a yard shy of the first down, and he was pushed out of bounds, so the clock will stop, and Bob Nielsen does not have to burn his second timeout.
Yeah, the play before, I was just going to say, you know, hey, got to continue to run this football and do what you need to do. And all of a sudden, Fox in your favor. That offensive line, now is the play. If you can pick this up, you got to just keep grinding this thing away.
And I apologize. Clock will actually run here because it's above 2 minutes. So clock running, USD does not take a timeout. 3rd down and 1. Skokna able to grind his way. He's got enough for the first. Mogensen made the initial hits. Skokna's momentum, though, able to carry him across the 40. Now South Dakota. No, actually, will not use it. Now they will, excuse me. They'll use the timeout here to stop the clock with 2:10 to go. Huge first down by UND.
Yeah, that was really, really important. And those offensive line, they take pride in that. Doing what they need to do, get on bodies, pick up the first down. And then we've talked about those running backs, how they hit the hole so hard. They get a full head of steam. Tough to bring those guys down.
Yeah, I apologize. South Dakota did not take a timeout. Andrew Special for a moment was waving his arms, the white hat, as if to say, stop the clock. But timeout not taken. Yotes letting it run here. And this might just do it again. That first down more or less seals it. North Dakota can essentially just kneel on this football. Now the Coyotes will take a timeout.
Keeping us on our toes.
I guess so. You just never know. So second timeout used by Bob Nielsen. We will step away for a moment. Officially 1:35 left in the 4th. North Dakota closing in on win number 3.
This is not just another streaming app.
You might want to hold on to something.
This is a mountain of original, bingeable entertainment. This is chilling, unsettling, and brilliant and bonkers. This is weird and hilarious, stylish and cheeky. This is a joy to watch, a wonder to explore, and a peak TV experience. Live sports, news, and a mountain of entertainment.
Look at that weird filet-o-fish sandwich. Ha, 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 why they make it square? If you want Baker's Arby's crispy fish, 2 for $6, come and get a pair. Arby's, we have the meat.
Behind the Ed Morse name is a story of a man with a vision. And as we celebrate what would have been my grandfather's 100th birthday, we celebrate a legacy that lives on. Ed Morse presents 75 years of excellence.
Okay, I'm awake.
Let's do this, Smudge.
What's this? Oh, man, we're gonna have some fun today. Let's go. Say it with me now.
Hinge, squeeze. Stay with me. Here, I'm with you. 5, 4, 3, 2, you're finished. You did that, Palatine.
Until next time.
We mentioned it a moment ago, our next Valley football broadcast here on Midco SN coming your way Saturday from Dana J. Dykhouse Stadium, South Dakota State, who's now number 8 in the country, taking on a Western Illinois team that's fighting for a resurgence this year after a 1-win campaign in 2019. Just one battle of ranked teams in the Valley this weekend. You don't see that very often. Outside of this one, of course, Illinois State going to Cedar Falls to take on Northern Iowa. And the Yotes will take on Missouri State next week. They host an NDSU team that's coming off their first loss in 40 games. North Dakota, after that timeout by South Dakota, will keep the ball on the ground, and Weah will stay in bounds. Another timeout taken by Bob Nielsen. That's going to be the final one for USD. On Sunday, North Dakota basketball, the men in action in the Summit League quarterfinals down in Sioux Falls at the Pentagon. They'll take on Oral Roberts. That's an ORU team that features the conference's player of the year in Max Asmus and another first-team all-conference pick in Kevin O'Banner. Philip Abracha was a second-team pick. On the North Dakota side in the all-conference ranks, which just came out today, Tyree Iheanacho, the freshman of the year, leading the point guard duties for UND in that contest. Should be a great game. Those two split down in Tulsa a long time ago, back in January. We'll see what changes on a neutral floor in the Summit League quarterfinals, all part of Midco SN's Summit League tournament coverage, which begins on Saturday. 4 games Saturday, 4 games Sunday, 4 more on Monday with the quarters and the semis all live on Midco SN once again for a 12th straight season. 90 seconds to go. No more timeouts for the Coyotes. 3rd and 7 for UND. Weah, as he's done all day, is going to pick up the first down. Why not? He goes over 160 on the afternoon, a new career high. And that's going to send North Dakota to their first 3-0 start since 2008.
And a great job by the offensive line once again, getting the hole right there. You see the blockers, and Weah does the rest for a first down to seal the game.
Otis picks up 10 there. 16 carries, 162 yards on the ground. Easy math, 10 yards a pop to the sophomore running back. Victory formation for Tommy Schuster and this North Dakota offense. South Dakota, 14 straight defeats here in Grand Forks. They've still not won up in this part of the world since 1985. We saw some good things from the Coyotes today. This will be a good USD team and a tough team to beat over the course of the Valley season.
Absolutely. You can see the athleticism, too. I think that's the one thing that really stood out. All around, secondary, quarterback, running backs, they were a really, really talented football team. You're exactly right. They're a team that nobody's going to want to see in a conference.
USD gets Missouri State at home on March the 13th, a 1 p.m. game. North Dakota, they'll hit the road for the first time next week. They got about 10 days to get ready for that one, a trip to Macomb to take on Western Illinois. They will savor this one, though. A 21-10 victory over number 2.
All right, y'all, guys. All right, y'all guys. Hey, thanks for everybody coming through, hitting that like button. I will be live on Saturday for 2 games. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button on the way out. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. Good night.